North Greenville University Crusader Club invites all Crusader fans to show your spirit by joining the Crusader Club for the first time while renewing your membership for this year.
It's once again time for Saturday Night Lights here at Young Stadium on the campus of North Greenville University, and we couldn't have picked a better night to have this contest as the Newberry College Wolves come north on Interstate 26 to Tigerville to take on the 2-0 North Greenville University Crusaders. Grace Sutton alongside Dave Parson as Dave, we get ready for a matchup that has been played since 1997 off and on, and North Greenville really wants to get back in this rivalry as Newberry, since that first matchup in 97, has won 11 out of the last 14.
Yeah, that's right. Great. Good evening, everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday, September the 17th, 2016. Welcome to Yount Stadium. This is the 15th. Well, we've had 15 meetings. This will be the 16th meeting between these two schools. Newberry comes in with a record of 1-1 in the 2016 campaign. They lost to Florida Tech 28-42, and they won at Virginia Union 42-22.
And North Greenville's schedule, they started off the season in dramatic fashion with a win over their future Gulf South opponent 24-23, and then pitched a shutout against a fellow South Atlantic school, the same conference from that Newberry's, and pitched a shutout 45-0 against the Lenore-Rhine Bears in Hickory. Yeah,
that was a good game. This is the first time since the 2013-14 season that the Crusaders have started 2-0. It's only the second 2-0 start for the Crusaders dating back to 2005.
And North Greenville trying to keep stacking up the records, as in that Lenore-Rhine game, North Greenville did something they've never done before, and it was courtesy of number 1, Richard Witherspoon, who took the opening kickoff 100 yards from goal line to goal line for not only his first ever career return for a touchdown, but I believe that was North Greenville's first ever.
I believe that's correct. Crusaders come in here with the offensive line ranked 8th in the nation, and the defense is in the top 50 in all of Division II at 38 in total tackles for a loss, with 16 so far this season.
And you mentioned the North Greenville defense. The defense ranks 16th nationally in Division II scoring defense, and that's a category you want to have your defense high in.
Yeah, the defense is going to be challenged tonight, Greg. The Wolves are ranked first in the country in interceptions with 6 thus far this season.
And so that's going to be a tall task for sophomore quarterback Will Hunter, and then the phenom freshman, if you will, Colin Sneed, who came in and led the game, what would be the game-winning drive against West Alabama. So North Greenville kind of experimenting with 2 quarterbacks. Will Hunter will get the start tonight, but don't be surprised if we see Colin Sneed in there later on in the game.
Yeah, Colin Sneed showed very good stats with his legs. He seemed to have that running back. Also, the quarterback for the Newberry, he's got a lot of yards too, so he uses his legs as well as his arm. I think his rushing has outpaced his passing so far this year. But he'll be one to watch.
Quarterback for Newberry, the senior Raleigh Yadell, has been climbing his way up the stat chart for Newberry. He is sitting in 10th all-time passing yards for the Wolves and was the South Atlantic Offensive Player of the Week last week.
Should be a good game, Gray. Once again, we appreciate everybody joining us on the North Greenville Sports Network. It is a beautiful night here. We thank you for joining us. If you can't make it out to a game here on the campus at Tigerville, here at Yount Stadium, we certainly appreciate you joining us for all of our sports broadcasts.
Raleigh Yadell also leads the South Atlantic in, well, not just individual passing yards, as he leads the conference with 736. He's also completing 73.6% of his passes, which is a little less than for every 3 out of 4.
Correct. Yeah, this should be a definite, on both sides, offense versus defense. It'd be interesting to see what the offenses can put together this year.
North Greenville's defense forced 4 turnovers last week against Lenore Ryan. They're going to have a tall order, not just with Raleigh Goodell, but also with a strong tailback in number 22, another senior, Romello Doctor, who has torn North Greenville up the past 2 times the Crusaders have made the trip down to Newberry.
That's right, great. He got some accolades from the conference last week also for his performance. So he'll be one to watch tonight.
We'll go ahead and send it down to the field as we get pregame ceremonies underway between North Greenville and Newberry.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please remain standing for the presentation of the invocation for tonight's game, given by Dr. Tony Bean, the Vice President for Student Life in North Greenville.
Let's pray together. Father God, we thank you for the beauty of this day. We come before you tonight and ask your blessings on this athletic contest. We ask you, Father God, to watch over the young men that will use the gifts and abilities that you have given them to take to the field in athletic contests. We pray that you would bless them, that you would protect them, and that, Father God, you would bring us to a point later on with the victor, God, that would give you all the glory. We thank you for the beauty of the day. We thank you, Father, for everyone gathered here tonight. May your blessings be upon us in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen.
And now, please join the Marching Crusaders under the direction of Drum Major Nicole Bridges. And gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, Dave, I think that means we're just about ready to get this game underway.
Yeah, great. Welcome to Yount Stadium on the beautiful campus in Tigerville, North Greenville University. It is Parents' Night for the Crusaders. Good crowd on hand tonight. More of them filing in as the sun begins to go down. Expecting a really great game tonight.
Go ahead and take a look at some team numbers overall coming into tonight. North Greenville going on through the air, 170 passing yards. Rushing, led by that strong run backing core, led by Ashton Hurd, but Tracy Scott gaining some ground. They're averaging 221.5 yards on the ground. Defensively, North Greenville giving up 193.5 yards through the air, only 126 on the ground, and for a total of 319.5 yards of offense. All three of those categories rank North Greenville in the top 4 in the Division II independent category that North Greenville's in. I already mentioned Newberry's passing offense. They rank 1 in the South Atlantic, 6th nationally in Division II with 368 yards through the air, 132 on the ground, 500 total yards of offense. That is good enough for 25th nationally. Defensively, they've been burned some. They're giving up 451 total yards of offense, and that might be a point of emphasis that Coach Farrington tells his guys, hey, we can get them here, and maybe a little bit here as well.
Yeah, those are good stats for both teams there, Gray. As we're awaiting the arrival of both teams onto the field now.
Also shine a spotlight on the linebacker Sam Houston out of Easley, South Carolina, who continues to just stack up his career total tackle record. Broke that record in the opener against West Alabama, and just continues to tack on to that as once again he led the team in tackles at Lenore Ryan.
He should be big tonight also, Gray. They're going to put a lot of weight on his shoulders.
And Newberry's going to be looking down the field, so that's going to put a lot of pressure on North Greenville's secondary as Markel Castle, number 13, leads the receiving corps for the Wolves.
We can't mention enough for the Wolves quarterback, Yeldell. Again, he's got a lot more yards rushing than he does passing. He uses his feet a lot. He's pretty much the third running back in the backfield. So Mr. Houston's going to have his hands full looking for him tonight. They'll probably put a spy out for him just to keep him close to the line of scrimmage. Don't let him get too much.
And with that 3-4 defense that North Greenville runs, of course, you only have 3 down linemen, but your linebackers are allowed so much mobility, and that's going to be important for North Greenville to key on should Yeldell try and take off. It's probably going to be a linebacker that's going to be tasked with bringing him down.
Yeah, North Greenville seems to be relying a lot on their special teams too, Gray. You mentioned last week a 100-yard kickoff run back.
And boy, if that happens again, bet North Greenville will be feeling a lot of positive momentum. You also got to look at the kicker, Matt Gravely, the freshman out of Pickens, South Carolina, who on his first collegiate kick for a field goal tied his brother's record, Justin Gravely, at 47 yards. So you kind of got to think it runs in the family.
Yeah, he's got a really good leg. We noticed last game here at home, he put a couple of them over the access road over on the west end, clear out into the woods.
And on the east end, he put one over the field house. So while we await North Greenville and Newberry to take the field, starters on offense first for North Greenville. Getting the start tonight at quarterback, Will Hunter. Ashton Hurd at running back, the tight end, Devon Turman. At wide receivers, you have Mason Sanders, Javon Smith. Robbie Brown slated to get the start, but don't be surprised if we call out DeMaje Rooks a lot.
I believe he's starting also, Greg.
All right, so we'll beat DeMaje Rooks, and hopefully we'll see Robbie Brown later on down the stretch. On the line, you have Caleb Harris, left tackle, left guard Amon Lindsay, center Michael Thomas, right guard Casey Stewart, right tackle Cameron Stepp. On defense for North Greenville, the nose guard Seth Lauder, defensive tackle Anthony Blair, defensive end Shaquan Burney. Those are going to be 3 big names for North Greenville here tonight. Outside linebacker Dalton Pilgrim, outside linebacker Eddie Studevants, middle linebacker Sam Houston, and middle linebacker Quan Weeks. In the secondary tonight, Tony Godbolt, who came up with a pick against Lenore Ryan, KJ McDonald, Nigel Gay, also be seeing him on punt returns, and then the 100-yard touchdown kickoff man, Richard Witherspoon. For the Wolves on the line, you have Tyler Stasky at left tackle, left guard Bobby McNeil, center Dakota Mazingo, right guard Alston Turner, right tackle Sam Hall, tight end Baptiste Staggers, and the wide receiver core Cole Watson, Braxton Ivory, Markel Castle, who Yeldell will be looking for a lot tonight, Wesley Jordan, and then in the backfield, Romello Doctor, fullback Knox Butcher, that's a scary name for a fullback, and the quarterback Raleigh Yeldell, and we might also see Nick Jones tonight as well.
Gray, I think the Wolves are going to be looking for Wesley Jordan, number 1. He lines up pretty much right on the sidelines, and I think he's going to take a lot of the pressure off the other wide receivers, especially Markel Castle.
That's something Newberry's going to have to do, is spread it around.
Right, and I look for Wesley Jordan to have a big night tonight.
Defensively for the Wolves, 4 down. We expect to see 4 down linemen. Defensive end Jamarcus Henderson, defensive tackle Jimmy Holmes, defensive tackle Tyron Dixon, defensive end Jaquil Oden. Linebackers Will Elm, Chase Austin, Joe Blue, and Ramik Smith. And in the secondary for the Wolves, Rashad Smith, Tony Gaston, and Avery Shippey. Shay Rogers will be handling the kickoff duties and punting duties tonight for Newberry. Matt Gravely kicking for North Greenville, and Bobby Foose will be punting.
No need to adjust your color on your computers tonight, folks. Newberry Wolves will be in all white, and the North Greenville Crusaders will be in their home all black.
And if you hear it, that is a actual recording of the man himself. The wrestling man is what I know him by. Bruce Buffer, as that is an actual recording by Bruce Buffer. And here come both teams running onto the field. North Greenville in all black, Newberry in all white, just like Dave said. North Greenville carrying flags of all service branches of the U.S. military. And everybody's on the field.
Crusaders fight song being played by the band.
And you're also not at a Wisconsin game, as that is on Wisconsin.
Or my high school, that was their fight song.
That's also Landrum High School's fight song.
Exactly,
so,
yeah, very popular.
It gets around, yeah.
Number 16,
So captains meeting at midfield. 4 captains for North Greenville, 2 captains for Newberry.
number 22, Ashton Hurd, number 53, Sam Houston, and number 73, Michael Thomas.
So the toss was deferred. North Greenville will receive to start off the ball game.
And they will be apparently on the west end to start.
So it's going to come down to the sophomore quarterback, Will Hunter. He has Ashton Hurd and Tracy Scott in the backfield. As this is certainly setting up to be a great game. North Greenville, we mentioned their rushing attack, 221 yards on the ground. That coming not from just one back, but a host of backs in the backfield, as Ashton Hurd had 67 yards and a touchdown up at Lenore Ryan. Tracy Scott added another 36 yards on 8 rushes and a touchdown. Tristan Jackson got in on the action, 7 rushes for 34. Simeon Bird, 5 runs for 27. Dave, you talk about Colin Sneed legs. He also added 13 yards to that rushing category. So a good scrambler for the freshman quarterback out of Hillcrest.
You're right. Yeah, he came in for a couple plays that last game last weekend.
Mason Sanders, the big target for Will Hunter, as Sanders comes in 6'6", out of Bowling Springs High School in Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Sanders reeled in 6 catches for 76 yards and a score. Will Hunter looked like he settled in nicely, 16 for 22, 165 yards. Colin Sneed came in and completed 2 of his 3 passes for 45. Yadell for Newberry also had a good day against Virginia Union, 27-32, 289. He averaged 10.7 passing yards a throw. Romello Doctor only had 44 yards in that game on 17 attempts, but he picked up a touchdown. And don't let those numbers fool you. He can be quite the rusher trying to come from the backfield. He's not, I guess I can say he's not a great distance runner as much as in close yardage situations is where he can hurt you the most.
Exactly. Both teams are on the field, waiting for the clock to get to 0, and it has reached 0. Referees are signaling play And the Newberry Wolves will be teeing the ball up momentarily.
This game last year played at Newberry. The Wolves crushed North Greenville 31-6, and what ultimately kept North Greenville out of the D2 playoffs. Newberry got in and had to face West Georgia, a nationally ranked program out of the Gulf South, and West Georgia won that one. North Greenville's last win came in 2014. North Greenville won 34-14. And since 2011, when North Greenville got their first win, they have won 3 out of the last 5. Richard Witherspoon back deep, as well as Tracy Scott. And it is a short kick as we are underway here at Yount Stadium, caught by one of the upmen for North Greenville, and a decent return out to the 33 by number 7.
Demaje Rooks.
So Demaje Rooks gets the first touch of the game.
He's knocked down by number 31, Marcus Brown.
I don't know if that was planned, Gray, but it was a weak kickoff.
I think Newberry watched the film from the Lenore Ryan game and thought they best keep it away from Witherspoon.
Interesting also, Gray, that the sun had just begun behind a cloud just as he kicked that off, so the sun was not a factor in his eyes.
And we don't expect any inclement weather here in Tigerville. It's just partly cloudy, and we'll only get cooler as the sun goes down, as we're about 30 minutes away from sunset. So first snap for Will Hunter here against Newberry. Comes out a pistol set, tight end to his left, and fakes the handoff to Ashton Hurd. Hunter going for the bomb down the field, down to the far side, and overthrows his intended target, number 81, as he was looking for Pedro Maginot.
I think that was Braxton Avery for the Wolves on the cover. Overshot both players.
I like the strategy, taking the big shot on the first play. If you had that one-on-one situation over on the far side, which he did, just Hunter a little too much juice.
I think that's a correction. I think it might be Rashad Smith that was on that play.
Now it's a handoff to Ashton Hurd. Hurd gets to the 35 and wrapped up as he crosses the 35 to the 30. They give him progress to the 37, so it'll be third down and about 7 yards to go.
I believe that was number 24 for the Wolves for Meek Smith from Ridgeville, South Carolina on that tackle.
So North Greenville needs 7 to keep the drive, their opening drive going. They have it here on third down. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Hunter now shifts into the gun. Hurd to his right. Hunter gets a snap, drops back, looks, here comes pressure, and he gets away from it. Now he's going to take off and run, has all kinds of field on the far side, dives for the first down, and it's going to depend on the spot, and it looks like he got it. What a scramble by Will Hunter, avoiding the pressure and able to pick up the first down.
That's what they teach you at practice. Keep your eyes down the field and take whatever they give you.
So first and 10 for North Greenville from their own 45. 2 receivers left, 1 right. And now they switch out Hurd, who's kind of holding his left arm, so Hurd heads to the sideline. Demaje Rooks comes in at tailback. As Hunter gets the snap, hands off to Rooks. Rooks gets upended as he gets to the 49, just shy of midfield. Second down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. And you've got the training staff checking out Hurd, checking out his left arm, actually looking at his hand, so maybe just a cut. Hunter now back in the pistol set. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Hunter calls for the ball, turns around, hands it off, and straight up the middle. And across midfield into Wolves territory goes the tailback. And Newberry saying the ball came out at the end. No, stays with North Greenville. That was Rooks again on the, no, that was Simeon Bird on the carry. Third down and 3.
Great tackling by the Wolves. Seemed like about half the team was in on that play. They had it read perfectly.
Third down and 3 to go. Play clock approaching 10. North Greenville gets set. 2 receivers left, nobody right. Pistol set. Hunter tight end to his left. They bring receiver in motion, and they snap it to Bird straight up the middle, and he goes nowhere.
Yeah, I think he lost a couple.
Well, Newberry stuffs North Greenville just across the midfield stripe, and here comes a special teams unit out. Number 80, Bobby Foose, on the field for his first punt.
Number 80, Bobby Foose will kick for North Greenville. Number 19, Cole Watson, deep for the Wolves.
Cole Watson for the Wolves back at about the 12-yard line.
He's another dangerous receiver for Newberry. As low snap to Foose, he gets a good kick away. End over end kick, that will be fair caught at the Newberry 13-yard line.
Well, an interesting first series for the Crusaders. They got one first down and kind of stalled right there, but at least they got to look at the defense. They can plan something for the next outing.
And now here comes the leading passing offense in the South Atlantic Conference, led by the senior quarterback Raleigh Yadell. Two receivers right, one left. Yadell with a tailback, motioning to his right. Calls for the snap, hands it off, and Romello Doctor gets his first touch, and right away Sam Houston in on the tackle as Doctor is stopped just short of the 15 for a 1-yard pickup.
Richard Witherspoon for the Crusaders looked like he was to spy on that play and make sure he didn't keep the ball. Yadell didn't keep the ball and run with it.
Putting a cornerback spy on Yadell to make sure he doesn't get too far away. 2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard pickup. Yadell in the gun, gets a snap, hands off again to Doctor. Doctor trying to cut to the right side edge and gets across the 15 down to the 17-yard line. So back-to-back running plays for Newberry sets them up 3rd down and they need 6.
Gray, I want to give a shout out to the Newberry fans. The stands across the way are almost completely filled. Great show for that school to bring their people down here to see the game.
About an hour and a half up here from Newberry. As now 3rd down, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Have yet to see Yadell pass, as this might be a passing situation. 10 on the play clock. Yadell changes the play. Doctor to his right. 5 on the play clock. Yadell snaps it, drops back to pass. Now forced to scramble out to the right side. Gets to the 20, slides down at the 25, and there he goes for the 1st down.
Adding more to those yardages he's racked up this season.
Up to the 24-yard line.
1st and 10 for Newberry from their own 24.
I think they were concentrating mostly on the pass, Gray, and they kind of lost the spy on that one.
Yeah, it looks almost like he's adopted a Connor Shaw mentality. Drop back to pass, wait and see if nobody's open, and then take off. 3 receivers left in this formation. Yadell gets a snap, looks out to the flat far side, and overthrows his intended target. Receiver out there, number 13, looking for Castle, but incomplete.
I think Castle missed the signal on that. He was just standing there. He didn't break to his left like Yadell thought he would.
So now they'll stop the clock. 9:49 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless between North Greenville and Newberry. The Wolves getting their first series. Again, 3 receivers left. Yadell in the gun. Doctor to his right. Again, Yadell not liking what he's seeing from the defense. Checks the sideline for the play. And with 5 on the play clock, gets the snap, hands off to Doctor, bounces it off the left side of the line, and immediately tripped up. And he gets a yard, maybe 2, as Quan Weeks got in there on the tackle, and number 91, Seth Lauder, got a hand in on it as well.
Sam Houston in on that tackle, Gray. That's what the Crusaders need to see more of.
And also Yadell, both Yadell and Doctor, as Newberry faces a 3rd down and 8. Empty backfield for Yadell. 4 wide set, unbalanced to the left side. Yadell looking, throws over the middle, pass complete, and brought down short of the 1st down at the 31 is Castle, but Newberry's going to be short.
Stopped right away by number.
And here comes the special teams unit out for Newberry. So both teams get some initial momentum on their first drives, but they stall out. Number 69, Shea Rogers, on to kick it away for the Wolves. Nigel Gay set to return. High snap. And a line drive kick end over end will take a Wolves hop. North Greenville members scatter in front of it, and it will stop at the 27-yard line.
Punt goes down to the 27-yard line. First and 10, North Greenville.
North Greenville's offense comes back on the field, and Ashton Hurd exited that drive early, holding his left arm, and it looks like, Dave, I see him getting ready to come back in the huddle. Or he's not coming back out onto the field, but he does have his helmet on, so that's at least a good sign.
Yeah, correct. He was on the sideline. I was watching to see if he was going to come in, but I think they're going to just see what they can do without him for a while.
So Simeon Bird will take his spot at tailback for this drive. Two receivers bunched right. Hunter in the pistol set. Bird right behind him. They bring receiver in motion, and they will toss it to him. And here comes number 12 getting upended as he crosses the 30. That was Javon Smith on the sweep toss to the receiver. He actually gets a pretty good pickup, 4 yards, second down and 6.
Rashad Smith for the Wolves on that knockout of bounds, number 3. He's from North Charleston, South Carolina, coming down to Newberry.
Hunter gets the snap, and penalty flags fly, and they have a false start.
False start. Penalty. Second down.
Well, we caught half of that. It was a false start against North Greenville.
Correct.
5 yards, second down and 11 coming up.
So that goes from a second down and 6 to a second down and 11. Two receivers right for Hunter, tight end on the left side of the line. Bird behind Hunter. Hunter works that hard count like Hughes used to do. Checks the defense, now the sideline. 5 on the play clock. Hunter gets back set. Snap it with 2, spin around and looking and throws it incomplete, and a flag comes out late as it looked like he was trying to get it to Javon Smith. And we have another penalty marker down. That might have been a busted play. He turned to hand it to Bird, but Bird was already off and gone, and then he looked to throw it.
Hunter did a pump fake about 4 times on that play, Gray.
Ineligible man downfield, 50-60 offense. That penalty is declined.
Ineligible man downfield will be declined, so North Greenville still in a 3rd down and 11 situation. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hunter now in the gun, Bird to his right. Checks the sideline again. Gets back set. Now he'll snap it. He'll look to the far side. Now throws it back to the near side and overshoots Mason Sanders running down the seam. So North Greenville, again, after the ineligible man penalty, stalls out, and they'll be forced to kick it away.
Yeah, Sanders was complaining to the officials that he was held up there at the line. Had 2 receivers on him, so he really wasn't that open.
Bobby.
7:39 to go in the first quarter.
And Bobby Foose already back on for his 2nd punt of the game.
Bobby Foose on the punt.
And again, you got Cole Watson back deep to return. And where he's standing at his own 38, Newberry could have good field position, but Foose is also a pretty good punter as he'll drill this one. Wow, all the way back to the 20 goes Watson. He'll try to return it back to the 30, 35, 40. Here goes Watson. Flag comes out. Watson across midfield and finally gets dropped at the 42. But this one might be coming back.
Yeah, that flag's at the 30-yard line, way back here, almost 10 yards from where he caught the ball. I think it's going to be a break for the Crusaders.
During the return, blocking the back, number 46, the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Blocking the back penalty against Newberry will cost them a very good return from Cole Watson. Newberry head coach Todd Knight. And North North Greenville head coach Jeff Farrington. Todd Knight 6th on the all-time wins list for the Wolves. And looking to continue moving his way up the list. He is the first 40-game winner at Newberry with a winning record. 3 receivers left here with Newberry. First down and 10 from their own 20 after the penalty. Yadell looks to the far side. Now scrambles, cuts it up the middle, and does get dropped. Number 38. That should be Quan Weeks. Yes, it is Quan Weeks on the tackle.
Just an observation here, Gray. It looks like Yadell just doesn't have the confidence in his receivers or his arm.
3 receivers left, 1 right. Yadell back in the gun, 2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard scramble. Yadell drops back to pass, looks over the middle, now forced to scramble, sets up the screen to Doctor. Screen, a lot of room to run, has the first down, cuts it back to the 35-40. Flag out back at the 28, and Doctor all the way into North Greenville territory at the 35. But again, this one might be coming back.
Nigel Gay on the stop.
And a penalty flag on the play.
To the offense. Half the distance from the spot of foul. Replay second.
Well, I think that was a holding call. So the hold will back Newberry up from the spot of the foul, which was at their own 27. So that'll push it back to the official inside the 15 and stops at the 14. Dave, you mentioned Yadell's confidence in his receivers. We're kind of confused about that because Mark Castle caught 9 balls against Virginia Union, and more on that after this play. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Yadell checking the sideline again. He spread the ball out against Virginia Union to 7 different receivers.
I think the Crusaders defense needs to be awake here.
Yadell looking to the far side, throws it out into the flat to Doctor again. Doctor stutter steps and then builds up ahead of speed and gets bumped out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
Good play by the Crusaders after they let a couple good long runs take it down the field. Fortunately, they got the penalties that brought them back.
3rd down and about 15 to go for Newberry. They need to get it to their own 30. They're at their own 14. Tigers will make that 3rd down and 16. Yadell, a 5-wide set. 3 right, 2 left. Yadell drops back to pass, looking over the middle, scrambles out, throws it, airmailing it to the near side, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost picked off by Richard Witherspoon in the process.
Yeah, he timed his jump just right. Witherspoon almost had that ball.
Pass intended for the 6'3 receiver, number 1, Wesley Jordan, and the 5'9 cornerback, Richard Witherspoon, definitely timed his jump right and batted it away.
I had a feeling that Wesley Jordan would be in this game before too long.
So now Shea Rogers will have to kick it away from his own goal line. Good snap this time. Rogers trying to rugby style it. End over end kick caught by Gay, and he'll have a chance to return this one. And Gay's not going to get very far as he is just barely into Newberry territory at the 48.
5:40 on the first quarter clock.
Both teams have had 2 drives on the field. Now North Greenville will have to come back out. Still scoreless, as kind of feel like both teams are still getting a feel for what each other has in their arsenal and what threats they can bring to the field. Let's see what North Greenville can do here with their best field position of the night.
Yeah, Gray, it's been evenly matched so far. Beautiful night here for Parents' Night at the Yount Stadium here in Tigerville.
And already a flag out.
They had 18 on the clock, so there was no problem with the clock.
And North Greenville's backing up.
Snap infraction. 70-60 offense. Third penalty. First down. Set the game clock to 5 minutes.
Well, snap. Not a false start, but a snap infraction.
Yeah, I thought they might have a clock problem. It looked like it was still running after they blew the whistle.
5-yard penalty backs North Greenville up.
Now first down and 15 after the penalty from the North Greenville 47.
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Now they're trying to get the game clock set back to 14 seconds ran off the clock, so they need 5:40.
Yeah, they put 5:30 on the clock.
Getting warmer.
I thought he said 5:40.
Yeah. Yeah, he's holding up 40. The linesman trying to help him out.
Yeah, now they got it. Good job by the officials again, as usual.
Pistol set for Hunter. 2 receivers right, 1 left. It's a snap. Run left side to the tailback, Tracy Scott, and Scott gets to the 49. A pickup of 2. Second down and 8.
Short gain on the play. With the tackle,
Newberry's been able to diagnose North Greenville's run pretty well, as Newberry's allowed 193 on the ground so far for the season, but pinning North Greenville back pretty good so far, only 17 on the ground. 2 receivers left, 1 right now. Now Hunter motions a tight end out, so balanced formation as Hunter drops back the fast. They set up the wide receiver screen to Javon Smith, and Smith, surrounded by white jerseys, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. North Greenville have it third down and 10.
I had my eyes that time on Mason Sanders, Gray, and he was wide open on the far side.
And normally in a one-on-one situation, Sanders can normally out-jump any defender he goes up against. As
he can use that height advantage.
They definitely can, as Sanders moves now to the left side along with number 7. That's DeMarge Rooks. 2 receivers also out to the right side here on this third down and 10. Scott behind Hunter. They send Rooks in motion across the line to the far side. So Sanders one-on-one here on the near side. They run Scott to the near side. Scott with a big hole to the 40, to the 30. Scott trying to outrun 1 man, 5, and end zone.
Oh, what a play.
Great blocking up front by his receivers. Sanders, and the misdirection by Rooks confused Newberry enough. That allowed the hole for Scott to run it 48 yards for the touchdown.
Happy players on the Crusaders sideline right now. 4:05 on the clock.
We'll get to see Matt Gravely on the field for the kick.
Number 39, Matt Gravely on the try, the extra point.
I hope they have a person over in the practice field to get the ball.
They're going to need it. Gravely kicking out of the hold of Pilgrim. Pilgrim puts it down, and Gravely boots this one. And
to the practice field.
Yep, it's going to hop over the roof. And North Greenville now leads it 7-0 over Newberry after the 48-yard touchdown run from Tracy Scott. And that 17 rushing yards I just mentioned North Greenville had, yeah, it's now up to 67.
Yeah, big add-on right there on that last play.
Tracy Scott showing 2 rushes for 50 yards in that touchdown, averaging 25 yards a carry. Still early though.
Well, we got a chance now to see Udell back with the Wolves, see what he can do on offense. See if they can tie this game back up.
Back deep for Newberry. Rondres Truesdale and number 80, Keenan Lewis. Gravely teeing it up from his own 35 to kick it away.
Wonder if Gravely's got the orders from the sideline. Don't let him run it back.
Boot it deep.
And he can.
Number 30, Rondres Truesdale. And the Rays, Keenan Lewis on deep for the Wolves.
So here we go on the kickoff. Gravely will sling this one deep, and it will go into the end zone, but it is returnable, and Newberry's going to bring it out to the 20, to the 25. Spin move to the far side. Lots of turf for the return man to the 40, and it's Gravely who comes over to finally push him out.
Along with Nigel Gay, they got to him. A great run back.
That was Keenan Lewis on the return, and once again, Newberry setting up with excellent field position starting from their own 42-yard line.
Wolves sending a message now, Gray, that they're not going to just sit by and be idle. They're going to try to get this ball into the end zone as quickly as possible. 3:53 left on the first quarter clock.
And the special teams doing the big talking. So now 1st down and 10 for Newberry. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Udell back in the gun, Doctor to his left. Hits a snap, looks out to the near side, throws, pass is complete to his receiver into North Greenville territory, and somehow staying on his feet and finally spun down to the 43, number 16. On the reception, Baptiste Staggers, a tight end.
Another first down for the Wolves.
This one to the North Greenville 43. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Staggers a tight end on the left side of the line. Udell now looks for the snap. Roll him out to the far side. Is going to keep the option, and it's dropped at the 40-yard line after the 3-yard pickup. 2nd down and 7.
Good pickup by the Crusaders, watching for those legs to kick in. Yeldell really loves to run that ball.
That scoring drive for North Greenville took 3 plays, 48 yards, and 1:35 off the clock. From the North Greenville 40, receiver comes in motion for the Wolves. Udell gets a snap, hands it off to Doctor, bounces out to the left side, and immediately gets spun down after he picks up 2. And number 15, Tony Godbolt on the tackle. Now wholesale changes for North Greenville. Half the defense is coming off.
Put in their 3rd down defense for the Crusaders.
Newberry needs 5 to the North Greenville 33. From the 38, Udell. And movement up front.
Yep, that's going to cost them.
North Greenville is creeping up, and now we're going to have to wait and see.
They're signaling they were drawn off.
Both teams pointing at each other.
Offside. 46 to the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Now, offside's call against North Greenville gives Newberry a free first down.
Yeah, Crusaders couldn't sell that one.
And now Newberry at the North Greenville 33, beneficiary of the penalty. 2 receivers right and 2 left as well. Now Doctor motions to the left side of Udell. Gets a snap, hands it off to Doctor. Doctor again bounces it out off the left side of the line and gets good yardage inside the 25 down to the 22. And even though he only picked up 44 last week against Virginia Union, is adding to his total and has roughly about 15 yards right now.
Yeah, another first down for the Wolves.
Receiver again comes in motion. They hand it to him. No, Udell keeps it up the middle and gets dropped at the 16-yard line after that pickup of 7 yards.
Good series for the Wolves. They're getting down there. They're not going to let the North Greenville score put them down. Come right back and get that momentum back on their side.
2nd down and a long 2 to go as 4 receivers in this formation for Udell. Looks for the snap. Hands off to No, he's going to throw it out to the far side. Pass complete. First down Newberry again as that one's complete to Cole Watson. 1st and goal for the Wolves.
Clock stops at 1:27 left in the first quarter. Crusaders up 7-0.
I'll need a defensive stop. Newberry 1st and goal from the 9. Empty backfield again with Udell. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Now a receiver from the left side comes in motion. Udell keeps it again, sprints out to the left side. Nowhere to go, trying to find room and gets bumped out of bounds at the right around the original line of scrimmage.
Good coverage by the Crusaders that time. That spy stayed right with Yeldell.
And North Greenville looked like they were expecting a quarterback keeper, and that's exactly what he did, and it was a matter of determining which side he would go to. Final minute of the first quarter, North Greenville leading by 7, but Newberry knocking on the door to try and tie.
Down to 10 seconds on the play clock.
3 receivers line up right, 1 left. Doctor now in the backfield with Yadell to his right. Calls for the snap and fakes the handoff, looks to throw over the middle, and man, wide open in the end zone. That is Markel Castle for a Newberry touchdown.
There's Castle. We talked about him on the pregame, Gray. But he had a lot of receptions and a lot of yards.
Yeah, 9 receptions, 82 yards against Virginia Union. Didn't have a touchdown in that game, but he has one here.
Number 69, Shea Rogers, on to try the extra point.
Shea Rogers on for the PAT, kicking out of the hold of Cole Watson. Snap is down, kick is blocked.
Here we go again, Gray, just like the opening game. I want to say that was Tyler Lindsay again, out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina, for the Crusaders, blocking that one.
Now,
he was celebrating at least.
98, Desmond Williams on the block for the Crusaders.
Yep, you're right, Dave. That was Desmond Williams again. Number 98, Desmond Williams, a defensive lineman out of Wren High School from Piedmont, South Carolina again. Got his big paw up there and blocked it. He was also the player of the game in that West Alabama game, because that PAT at the end of the night made the difference.
It certainly did on that 24-23 victory.
So Williams picks up that block to go along with his 2 tackles so far in the game. Sam Houston once again leading the team, but this time with Seth Lauder and Quan Weeks, each of those Crusaders with 3 tackles. And Yadell 5 for 7 for 39 yards with a score, and Will Hunter 2 of 5, only 7 yards through the air.
Jamon Smith back to receive this kick.
Shea Rogers will tee it up from the near side hash mark, and they're set up in an interesting return formation. Now they spread it out. Got scared there for a minute. Might try to go for the onside. They still might. Who knows what they have cooked up.
Shea Rogers set the kick off. For Newberry. Two for the Crusaders, number 12, Javon Smith.
Rogers from his own 35. Boots this one high into the air. Will be returnable by Rooks from his 20. Rooks sticks to the near sideline and gets rocked as he gets to the 32, but no more.
Another short kick.
Darryl Foster laid the lumber to Rooks on that hit. And North Greenville will start from their own 33. North Greenville now leading 7-6 after the blocked PAT. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Hunter with the pistol set. Scott in at tailback. Hunter hands off to Scott, running to the left side again. Cuts it back to the right side, and Scott gets across the 35, brought down at the 36. That's a pickup of 4 yards, 2nd down and 6.
It looks like that might be the last play of the first quarter, Gray.
15 seconds to go. North Greenville brings out some receivers. They send 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 10, under 10 now. I think I'm going to try and get one more.
Yeah, they are.
Hunter already calling for the snap. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope, just trying to see if he can get a offsides call. That's the end of the first quarter. North Greenville leads Newberry 7-6 after the opening quarter of play. North Greenville 2-0, Newberry 1-1, and it's kind of going against the historical record, but close match after the first quarter.
It was a good matchup. A lot of yardage by the Wolves called back on penalties. I think the first quarter is going to have to go to the penalty calls. That was kind of the difference in the game.
Newberry's had 2 for 21. North Greenville 3 for 15 in the penalty department so far. We'll take a short timeout and bring you back to more Saturday Night Lights here from Young Stadium. North Greenville taking on Newberry here on the North Greenville Sports Network. North Greenville switch ends of the field. They'll now go from left to right or east to west directionally. 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup by Tracy Scott to end the first quarter. Now Scott goes out into the flat. Hunter throws to him, trying to get some blocks to his receiver. Scott gets to the 40, gets around a tackler, past midfield, and finally tripped up into Newberry territory. Anthony Moffitt. First down and 10 from the Newberry 47. Hunter looks to pass. Now they try the same play to the far side. Scott able to get by 1, but Newberry was ready for that one. And no gain on the play.
2nd down for North Greenville.
Now they bring Scott out. Simeon Bird comes in. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hunter, tight end to his left. Checks the sideline again.
One of the coaches talking to Ashton Hurd for the Crusaders on the sideline, so he may be coming back in pretty soon.
Hunter now forced to scramble out to the far side, has some daylight, and tiptoes out of bounds into the Newberry sideline, just shy of the 40. He was looking to throw to the near side, but nobody open, took off and got what he could get.
For NGU.
North Greenville needs 3 from the Newberry 40. 3rd down. 1 receiver right, 1 over to the left. Officials making sure each team gets to make substitutions as needed. Now here's Hunter with Bird behind him. Hunter gets a snap, fakes the handoff to Bird, and incomplete pass looking for the tight end, Bobby Foose, in and out of his hands. And it'll be 4th down and 3 from the Newberry 40. This would be a 57-yard field goal, and I think that's a stretch for Gravely, as here is Foose out on the field.
Good chance for that, a good time for that trick play here, Gray. Fake that punt and just take off to the right.
Yeah, you only need 3, and even if you don't convert, Newberry's still in their own territory. Motion for the snap, and Foose is going to kick this one away. Wow, he got a lot of kick into that one. It goes, bounces at the 4 and will roll into the end zone.
Yeah, he tried to put that in the corner, Foose did, but it just took a bad bounce right into the end zone.
The sophomore out of Chesney, South Carolina, just too much leg into that kick will bring Newberry out to their own 20-yard line. 1st down and 10. Last time we saw Udell hook up with Cole Watson in the end zone. They missed the PAT, but if they do that again, they're in the lead here.
I think Hurd might be out, Gray. He's got his left hand heavily bandaged right now, so I think his night may be over. I'd love to see him come back, but he's just walking around on the sidelines right now.
Udell gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to go to the far side, throws that way. Man, wide open. It's Watson again. Watson tripped up, and I say he stepped out of bounds back at the 44-yard line. But once again, Watson coming up big.
Best pass of the night by Yeldell for the Wolves.
correction, that was Markel Castle on the reception.
First and 10, Newberry at the 44.
And now first down and 10 for Newberry. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Doctor in the backfield with Yadell. Calls for the snap. They will fake the handoff, throw out into the flat to the far side again, and going nowhere is Castle as he is shoved out for a loss on the play.
Good play by the Crusaders that time. Smelled that one out perfectly.
Now they're going to move Castle over to the left side of the line, along with 2 other receivers for a total of 3. 1 receiver, lone man on the right side. Adele in the gun. Checks the sideline again. Doctor also in the backfield with him. North Greenville with their usual allotment of 3 down linemen, and then 3 linebackers, as here's a snap and a handoff to Doctor straight up the middle. Pretty simple. Out to the 47-yard line. That will set Newberry up with a 3rd down. And 6 yards to go.
3rd and 7 for the Wolves.
Unbalanced to the left side again for Newberry. 1 man on the right side. Yadell empty backfield. Look for the quarterback draw. Gets a snap. Looks to throw. Forced to scramble. Still looking downfield. Lets it loose. It's caught for the first down Newberry. They might have more here to the 35, 30. Newberry still on their feet. Down to the 26. Number 5.
Crusaders trying to tackle with the shoulder and not with the arms this time, Gray.
Yeah, shoulder tackling doesn't work, and you got to wrap them up around the legs to bring them down.
Yeah, these Newberry Wolves are big. It's going to have to take good, solid, straight-on tackling.
Braxton Ivory on the reception puts Newberry in to Crusader territory once again. 1st and 10. Empty backfield for Yadell, a 5-wide set. Now they go to 3 receivers, tight end on the left side of the line, tailback in the backfield, handoff to the tailback, straight up the middle goes that's the wide receiver Ivory, as he is down at the 22.
Newberry Wolves are changing up the calls now.
Pick up of 3 yards by Ivory, 2nd down and 7. Ivory late getting off the field. Now flags come out.
Infraction, offense, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's a substitution infraction will back Newberry up.
5-yard penalty backs Newberry up.
Costs them 5, goes from a 2nd down and 7 to a 2nd down and 12.
Newberry coaching staff is going to be looking at these penalties, Gray, at the halftime.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Yadell in the gun, Doctor to his left. Bell, snap, looks to the near side, has to avoid the pressure, scrambles out to the far side, has a lot of room to run. Houston gives chase, and Yadell scrambles out at the 14, but he picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, breakdown on the Crusader defense that time. Looked like they might catch Yadell in the backfield, but they missed him, and boy, they left him wide open on the right.
1st and 10 from the North Greenville 13. 2 receivers go left, 1 goes right. Yadell back in the gun still. Now they bring receiver in motion from the right side. Sets it up 3 on the left side. Yadell, quarterback keeper, stretching out. Now lets it loose. Pass complete. And pushed out of bounds is number 1, Wesley Jordan. Inside the 10, down to the 7.
10:06 on the first half clock. Crusaders have to step up now, tighten up that defense.
2nd and 4 coming out for the Wolves.
2nd down and now 4 to go for the 1st down for Newberry. They need to get inside the 5. That'll set them up with a 1st and goal. 3 receivers right. Yadell calls for the snap. Fakes the handoff to Doctor. Throws out into the flat to the far side, and he dropped it. Wesley Jordan dropped it. And now bring up 3rd down.
You can almost hear the coaches on the sideline for the Wolves saying, come on, watch the ball into your hands. He looked upfield to see where he was going before he caught the ball.
Number 20, Trey Gregg, the backup listed to Doctor, has also come into the ball game at tailback. As Udell will set up with an empty backfield. 4 receivers and a tight end.
Watch Udell's legs here.
Udell calls for the snap. Now backs out, checks the sideline. 5 on the play clock. Crowd getting into it. Udell gets a snap with 2 on the play clock. North Greenville brings pressure. Udell scrambles up to the far side, throws, and in and out of the hands of Jordan, incomplete. Fourth down for Newberry, and here comes the special teams unit. The kicker, number 69, Shea Rogers, for what will be a 25-yard field goal.
Number 69, Shea Rogers on to try a 25-yard field goal for Newberry.
From the near side hash for Rogers. Snap is high, but it gets down, and Rogers gets it up, and it is good. Newberry takes the lead at 9-7.
9:43 left in the first half, Gray. Still seeing some good football here in Tigerville at Yount Stadium.
And this is continuing to be against the Newberry and North Greenville in a close game, as the closest margin of victory since 2012 was a 10-point victory for North Greenville back in 2012, but since then it was Newberry winning 55-21 and a 20-point win for North Greenville, and then Newberry winning last year by 25.
I don't know if you could call this series a rivalry, but since the two schools are located relatively close, they do get a lot of fans from both schools, both in Newberry and here at Yount Stadium in Tigerville.
And that rivalry was only heightened by when North Greenville had the scheduling alliance with the South Atlantic, of course, now getting ready to join the Gulf South Conference full-time in a couple of seasons. But still, it'd be sad to see this rivalry go away, as well as a rivalry with another South Atlantic school, Tusculum, because no matter what, North Greenville Tusculum always comes down to the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
So Newberry up by 2. North Greenville will have to bounce back. Shea Rogers on for the kickoff. Number 12, Javon Smith, back deep at his own 3, set to return.
Another short kick.
Yeah, short kick up to the 20, caught on the run by Rooks. Rooks trying to spin away from tacklers, but gets slung out of bounds at the 30-yard line. How many kickoff returns is that for Rooks already?
Every kickoff, Gray, has been down around about the 20-yard line for the Crusaders, setting up pretty good some field position. It's just they're going to have to pull momentum back on their side now and come back and see what they can do.
That was the third kickoff return for DeMaje Rooks. Not sure if Newberry's just singling him out or if they are trying to keep it deep, keep it from going deep. We suspect they're trying to keep it from going deep to try and keep it out of the hands of Witherspoon and Smith back there. First down and 10 for North Greenville from their own 30. 3 receivers in this formation, 2 left, 1 right for Hunter in the pistol set. Tight end to his right. Hunter hands it off to Simeon Bird. Simeon Bird stays on his feet, keeps turning those legs, and picks up the first down for an 11-yard pickup to the 41.
Great play by Bird. Keep his balance using 2 legs and a hand.
His 2 legs and his left hand to keep driving forward.
I think he would have used the right hand if it didn't have the ball.
Yeah, trying to hang on to the ball. That's important. First and 10 from the 41. Pistol set again for Hunter. Now 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hunter again, same play. Hand off to Bird. Run him to the right side. Bird to the 45 and across midfield and dropped at the 49. And flags come out.
That'll give them a few more yards now for the Crusaders. I believe that might be a late hit.
Another 11-yard pickup for Bird, and we suspect more to be tacked on to that. The officials having their deliberation.
Unsportsmanlike conduct fouls. The defense. That is their first.
Offsetting penalties.
Yeah, both unsportsmanlike.
I think Bird may have taken exception to being hit late.
Well, it's still a first down for North Greenville, but no penalty yardage tacked on to it. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Newberry 49.
9:06 on the first half clock, Gray. Once again, we'd like to welcome those of you joining us on the North Greenville Sports Network. Glad to have you with us tonight.
Two receivers lining up on the left side. That is Smith and Rooks. Sanders, lone man on the right side. Number 88, the tight end, Devon Turman, lining up in the backfield. Now he gets motion to the left side of the quarterback. Hunter gets a snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out right side, throws back to the tight end, Turman, who gets the catch inside the 40, right at the sticks. And from here, it looks good for a first down. Head official says first down.
It's a good call of the Crusaders. They used that motion to the left and let the back come out to the right.
First down and 10 from the Wolves 39. Same formation, two receivers left, one right. Tight end in the backfield with Hunter. This time he'll hand it off to Bird, straight up the middle. Bird breaking free, down at the 31. A pickup of close to 9. That'll be second down and short.
Still a little over 8 minutes on the halftime clock. North Greenville would love to go into the locker room with the lead, but they don't want to get it too early and give the Wolves a chance to come back.
That's right, because you got to be looking ahead down the stretch. Newberry has the option to receive the second half kickoff. Three receivers in this set, and a handoff to Bird, trying to keep it going inside the 30. And again, using his hand to get down to the 26. That's a first down in NGU.
Number 45, Chase Austin for Newberry. And that's another Greenville.
Number 45, Chase Austin, in on the tackle for Newberry. Or number 22 for Newberry, that was Laquan White. Two receivers left, again, one right. Pistol set for Hughes, tight end and tailback in the backfield with him. Hunter gets a snap, fakes the handoff, throws out into the flat, high and incomplete to Rooks.
Pass thrown in the direction of number 7, Melage Rooks. Goes incomplete. Second down, Crusaders.
Forces a second down and 10 situation.
I don't think the Crusaders are too unhappy with that play. I mean, they would love for him to catch it, but I don't think he would have gone very far anyway.
He had a defender right in his face, ready to bring him down. Number 4 over there, Will Elm. Outside linebacker out of Irmo, South Carolina. Second down and 10. Now two receivers line up. Now they bring one in motion from the left side. Now to make it two receivers on the right side. Hunter gets a snap, hands it off to Tracy Scott. Scott finds a small hole, gets inside the 25 to the 24. That'll bring up third down, and North Greenville needs 6.
At some point, Gray, Will Hunter's going to have to look for Sanders in that corner of the end zone.
Yeah, Sanders has no receptions
He's
tonight.
been quiet tonight. He's not even really going down the field much. He's just kind of moseying down the right sideline.
Hunter now in the gun here on this third down. He'll drop back to pass. Look over the middle. Has pressure in his face. Throws it up to the far side and overshoots his man. Intended for number 12. That was Javon Smith.
Rooks was open in the far right corner. Hunter just missed him.
Now fourth down, and here comes Gravely out for a field goal. This would give North Greenville a lead. It's from the 24, so 41-yard field goal from the near hash. Kicking out of the hold of Dalton Pilgrim. Snap is down. Kick is on its way, and it is curling left, but it stays in good.
North Greenville back in the lead again.
Gravely good from 47, Gravely good from 41. It really doesn't matter.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the first half clock. Crusaders pep band kicking in action. Getting the crowd all excited again. Once again, it's Parents' Day here at the Yount Stadium.
Also, it was an open house earlier today. So some future Crusaders and prospective Crusaders getting a look at the campus across Highway 414 behind us.
And if you've not been here, it is a beautiful campus.
So Gravely will trot back out once again for the kickoffs. Now last time it was Cole Watson who gave Newberry a decent return, so Newberry's been kicking it short to keep away from the men from North Greenville. Does Coach Farrington tell his special teams unit to try and keep it away from Newberry? They're expecting a deep kick, both return men back at their goal line.
Number 30,
Truesdale back deep.
No wind to speak of, so it's all leg here on the kick.
Gravely motions to his team. Runs to the football and will send this one deep. High kick right in the middle of the field. This one will be returnable from 1 yard deep. Scott can't get the tackle and out to the near side and finally brought down. Number 80 on the return. That was, well, he had the last one. That's number 80, Keenan Lewis.
Good return.
Tracy Scott just didn't have the angle as he was the first man there, but number 80, Lewis, able to avoid him, and Newberry will start from their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, Crusader tackle on that run back would have been great to put them deep in their own end zone. 6:50 on the clock now.
Newberry got a field goal on their last trip to the red zone.
Newberry had a really good drive last time they had the ball.
They did, looking for the same result as Yadell. Hands it off to the tailback, Greg. Running off the right side, gets a yard at best. It'll be second down.
Number 23, Greg, the ball carrier for the Wolves. Think about 2 on the play. Sam Houston on the tackle.
Now Sam Houston again in on the tackle. Two receivers right, 2 left. Yadell in the gun, gets a snap, and again hands it off to Doctor this time. Doctor straight up the middle, gets to the almost the 35. It'll be third down, and Newberry will need 3-4 yards.
Swarming tackles that time, and North Greenville Crusaders sitting in their third down defense.
Wesley Jordan heads to the right side as Watson and one other receiver heads over here to the left side of the line. North Greenville brings up their coverage. Yadell checks back to the Newberry sideline. Doctor in at tailback, still in at tailback to his left. Third down, and Newberry needs 4. Yadell in the gun. Looks for the snap, and flags come out.
Snap infraction, 50 to the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Snap infraction against Newberry.
Penalties on the Wolves tonight. Coaching staff's really going to have to highlight that at halftime.
4th penalty of the game against Newberry, as now third down and 4 goes to a third down and 9. 2 receivers right, 2 left. The student section especially getting into the third down defense. Yadell drops back in the gun, Doctor to his left. North Greenville backs off their coverage. Yadell fakes the handoff, throws it out into the flat to Doctor, and Doctor dropped it.
Pass was just a little bit short, and Doctor was just a little bit too tall for that pass. Couldn't reach down and pick it up.
4th down and 9, and Shea Rogers will have to come back on to kick it away.
Looks like Nigel Gay for the Crusaders back to receive, Gray.
He'll be back at his own 34. Low snap to Rogers, but he'll get another line drive kick that Gay will field on the run. Now try to return it. Gets to the 40 and stopped at the 41, close to the 42-yard line.
Good coverage by the Wolves. They seemed to know exactly where he was going to kick that ball.
Well, just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. North Greenville leading by 1 over Newberry, 10-9. Will Hunter 5 of 11 for 34 yards. No touchdown passes yet. Tracy Scott, the leading rusher, 4 attempts on 56 yards on a score. Simeon Bird, 7 rushes for 39. Will Hunter scrambled twice for 15. And we haven't seen Ashton Hurd come back in yet since he went out with a apparent left hand injury early in the first quarter.
Yeah, Gray, he's got a big red bandage on that hand. I really think he's probably done for the night.
Now let's see if North Greenville can have another tailback step up to replace their leading rusher. Hunter looking to pass, now steps up, scrambles again, and takes the hit, but gets the yardage out to the 49-yard line. As a coach, when you see a quarterback scrambling, you want him to slide, but Will Hunter takes the hit and gains yardage, because if he would have slid, he would have been about 2 yards back.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago he tried that and it didn't work. And they had to bring in Sneed.
2nd down and 3 after the scramble. Hunter gets a snap, hands off Scott, running far side. Scott trying to look for a hole. Doesn't get one, but he gets right to the midfield stripe. And it's going to be 3rd down and scoreboard saying 2, and we'll say 2.
3rd down and short for the Crusaders.
Crusaders number 35, Tristan Jackson in the backfield now out of Jefferson, Georgia.
Tristan Jackson is the bruiser back. Good for this short yardage situation. 4 total receivers. Hunter will look to pass. Hunter over the middle and incomplete, looking for Maginault. And the Newberry defense holds, and North Greenville will have to kick this one away.
3:42 on the clock with the change of possession. Again, Crusaders leading 10-9. Seems like the Crusaders like those 1-point games, especially here at home.
Yeah.
The away games, they win 45-0.
That is true. It's a 1-point win against West Alabama, 24-23. North Greenville leading here by 1, 10-9. Foose on the kick it away. Good snap to Foose, and he will get a boomer off. That's back inside the 10 and fielded. Newberry will return it, but going nowhere was Cole Watson on the return, and he got to the 11, and that was it.
I think Bobby Foose has been working with Gravely on some of those kicks. He's looked a lot better than he did 2 weeks ago when we saw him here at Yount Stadium.
Well, Foose has been doing that his whole football career. He did the same thing at Chesney, where he played tight end and punter, and he's not afraid to mix it up and bang shoulders with some other tacklers. But kid's got a leg. It's not often you see a tight end punter hybrid.
It's good for the Crusaders, though, to have that option.
Newberry backed up at their own 11. Receiver comes in motion from the right to left. Yadell fakes the handoff. Quick pass, incomplete. Thrown behind his receiver intended for Watson. Or Castle.
Yadell just doesn't have the arm. I was wondering, looking at the stats coming into tonight's game, with so many rushing yards that Yadell had and few passing yards, I was wondering about his passing game.
3 receivers left, nobody right. Yadell back in the gun. Will step out and check the sideline. Yadell gets a snap, fakes the handoff again, looks over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted and dropped.
Oh, he had it too.
Tony Godbolt had it on the run and then took a shot from the receiver, Castle, and he dropped it.
I wonder again, Gray, if that wasn't the case of looking down the field before he caught the ball. He knew that hit was coming.
Nonetheless, it forces a third down situation for Newberry. Empty backfield for Udell in this 5-wide set. 3 receivers left, 2 right.
Crusaders trying to fire up the crowd.
Crowd back into it again. Udell gets a snap, looking to the near side, looking, pressure comes, forced to scramble, steps up to the far side, gets to the 20 and tripped up at the 25, and that will be another Newberry first down. First and 10 now from the 26.
Wonder if the Crusaders gave up on the spy on that one, because it seemed like he had an open field there for a while.
North Greenville's got too many guys on the field, and looks like they get him off just in time. And good pursuit over to the far side of the field to force a minimal gain for Newberry.
Second down coming up.
They had to hustle somebody off the field quick. Newberry actually lost a yard on the play. It's second down and 11. Empty backfield again for Udell. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Under 3 to go till halftime. Udell gets a snap, looks to the far side, throws, pass complete, and that's Watson on the reception as he is about a yard short of the sticks, a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, Crusaders defense that time was set up, give them the short pass, but not the long one.
Newberry driving late in the second quarter, 3rd down and 1. Newberry exchanging personnel. Castle and Watson to the left side. Jordan to the right side. Udell in the gun, tailback to his right. Gets a snap, hands it off, and Doctor finds a hole through the line and gets to the 38 for a Newberry first down.
Newberry's still running the ball, moving the ball down the field, but they're not running like they were early in the first quarter. 2 minutes left in the first half.
Newberry not showing any urgency on the line. Now they get set. Minute 50 to go till half. Udell empty backfield again, 5-wide set. Gets a snap, looks to pass, throws to the far side, batted at the line, and will fall to the turf incomplete. Desmond Williams gets another big hand up there and blocked that one. Wasn't a PAT, but still.
All right, he's going to win the Good Hands Award tonight, apparently.
Second down and 10 off the deflected pass. Empty backfield, 5-wide set. Still again for Udell, trying to stretch out the Crusader defense. Under 10 on the play clock. Receiver comes in motion. They will hand it. Udell with the keeper up the middle off the fake handoff, and two flags on the field as Udell gets 6.
Yeah, they came out simultaneously too. So whatever happened, both referees saw it at the same time.
It's at the line of scrimmage, and so here comes the call from our head referee, Jeff Page.
Legal formation, offense, 6 men in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
Legal formation against Newberry.
Penalties. Been stressing that all the first half.
Cost Newberry 5 yards. Second down and 15 from their own 33. 3 receivers left, 2 right, 5-wide set in the empty backfield for Udell. If Newberry wants to get down the field, they got to hurry up. Minute 20 left on the game clock. Udell gets a snap, looks over the middle, forced to step up, still looking to throw, throws over the middle. Man, wide open, just shy of midfield. Number 5, Braxton Ivory again. That will pick up the first down for Newberry. Now let's see if they go with a hurry up.
Once again, Gray, they're moving the ball slowly, but they're moving into the first down territory each time.
Let's see if they try to get a score before the clock runs out. Pressure against Udell. Pass complete to the far side, and a flag comes out in the backfield. And now a flag out on the Newberry side. One might be roughing the passer, but I don't know what the call is on the Newberry sideline.
Going to have an officials conference again. Might be offsetting penalties. Exactly 1 minute left on the clock in the first half. They're marching down toward
Two fouls on the play, both against the defense. Foul, passer number 3. 9. Bounds 15 to the defense. 15 yards from the dead ball spot.
Well, one was the roughing the passer call back in the backfield. The other was a late hit out of bounds on the Newberry sideline. Newberry accepts the late hit penalty and now gains 15 yards to the North Greenville 34.
Referee's conferencing again.
Clock remains halted with a minute left. They might be wanting to put more time back on the clock.
Correction. The second foul was a dead ball foul. The offense is allowed to take and accept both penalties. Therefore, the personal foul is the end of the roughing, half the distance.
Well,
interesting call there.
Because the foul was a dead ball foul on the Newberry sideline, Newberry is basically to reiterate what the head referee said. Newberry is allowed to accept both.
And we've got a timeout on the field now.
Yeah, I think Newberry took that one. So that's the first timeout called by either team. And North Greenville's clinging to a 1-point lead, but Newberry driving into Crusader territory. We'll step away for a short timeout and bring you back here for the closing minute of this first half here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Newberry's looking for the momentum going into halftime. They will receive the second half kickoff as well. And once again, the officials gathering at the line. Still trying to clear up this penalty. Okay, now they're moving the sticks back. And Newberry will start from the North Greenville 19. Well, maybe not yet. While we wait for the officials to clean up whatever is happening down there, Will Hunter 5 of 5 completed passes on 12 attempts, 34 yards. Riley Adele starting to pick up here in this second quarter, 12 completed passes out of 20 attempts for 121 yards. Looks like the mess is cleaned up. Newberry first down and 10. Empty backfield, 5 wide set. Crusaders dropping back in coverage. Receiver in motion to the far side. Yadell, quarterback keeper straight up the middle. Jumps over a man, and again a flag comes out as Yadell is tackled to the ground, and I'm thinking that's another late hit. Oh, it's a holding against Newberry.
Now I wondered about that, Gray. The flag was in the backfield.
So that will cost the Wolves some penalty yardage.
Wolves have had more penalties tonight than the Crusaders, but the yardage is probably very close on penalty yards.
You'd be exactly right. That was Newberry's 6th penalty of the game. North Greenville has 5 after Newberry was allowed to accept both penalties. North Greenville jumped up from 3 to 5 penalties for a total of 45 penalty yardage. First down and 18 with the clock under a minute. Newberry gets set, 5 wide set again for Yadell. Yadell drops back, looks to the far side, throws, pass complete, man open at the 20 and shoved out at the 14, and that will stop the clock for Newberry as they pick up the first down.
Goes out of bounds at the 14. It'll be second down for the Wolves.
With the clock stopped, I think the Wolves are going to try to get a couple plays here.
They have it second down and 5 from, so no first down, second down and 5 from the North Greenville 14. Three receivers left, 1 right, still an empty backfield. Yadell, the only man back there. It's a snap, drops back, looks to the far side. North Greenville brings pressure. Yadell rolling out, lobs it toward the end zone. Incomplete, looking for number 5, Ivory again.
Great pursuit by the Crusaders. 3 defenders coming directly at Yadell. He just had to throw that one away.
And a flag here at the 7.
Another penalty.
And
the clock stopped at 33.4.
Personal foul, face mask.
face mask penalty against North Greenville will set Newberry up with a 1st and goal from the 5.
The ball, 1st and goal at the 20-yard line.
And timeout called.
Once again, Gray, I think the Wolves are planning for at least 2 plays. I would look for something to the sideline first. You get what they can. Maybe try to go to the end zone if they can connect, but definitely to the one side or the other.
They've readjusted the ball spot. It's back to the 7-yard line, so Newberry needs 7. I could definitely see Newberry running a fade route to either side of the field, get out of bounds, stops the clock, and then that sets you up for 2-3 shots at the end zone, and you still got you'd still have roughly anywhere from 20 to 25 seconds left on the clock.
Definitely a check time for the Crusaders. Trying to pull those bootstrings up and play that good defense.
Newberry holding North Greenville right now to only 155 yards of total offense. Newberry in the meantime at 221 and counting. 12 total penalties between the 2 teams combined, so messy night as both coaches will look to clean that up in the second half. 3 receivers left, 1 right for Yadell. Yadell looking to throw into the flat to the tailback. Now the slant route underneath, no good, broken up by Nigel Gay, intended for number 19, Cole Watson.
No flag on the play, so it was good defense.
2nd and goal as Newberry will line it up. 3 receivers left again, Jordan, Ivory, and Castle, and Watson one-on-one on the right side of the line. Yadell and Doctor in the backfield. Snap to Yadell, looking to the far side, now steps up, has daylight to the goal line, gets brought down, spinning to it at the 1. Timeout Newberry, that will be their last one.
Stopping the clock at 21.1.
Now this will open up the playbook as there is a Wolf down in the end zone. One of the linemen gets up by the time the training staff make it out there. So this definitely opens up the playbook for you. You've got, even if you don't get the touchdown, you can still try again for a run play or just throw it. You still got a lot of passing plays to choose from, as that was Austin Turner getting some help back to the sideline for Newberry. Excuse me, number 76, Bobby McNeil, still one of the offensive linemen, but McNeil showing no ill effects. Raleigh Goodell, now 134 yards through the air. Also the team's leading rusher, 55 yards on the ground, and he might call his own number and pick up a rushing touchdown here as well.
Yaldell definitely likes to run for the Wolves.
Now Newberry has to bring out one more lineman. McNeil, who was injured on that last play, heads back to the sideline to get checked out. Man running on late for Newberry. From the North Greenville 1. Empty backfield for Yadell, and official calling time. Now North Greenville calls a timeout.
Yeah, they're first of the half.
During this halftime break, I encourage everyone to stop by the Crusader Club tent.
North Greenville receiver's been pretty quiet. We talked about Mason Sanders earlier. He has had some balls thrown his way, but no recorded reception. Tracy Scott, the tailback, leads the team right now. 2 receptions for 17 yards. Javon Smith, 2 for 7. And Devon Turman, 1 for 10. And Newberry coming in. Only allowed, they allowed 257.5 yards through the air. That's good enough for 116th in Division II NCAA. But they have shut North Greenville down to 34 passing yards total.
Chance for the Wolves to go in here at halftime now with the lead.
And
they're only down by 1.
A potential chance to tack on that score coming out of the half. 5 wide set, empty backfield. Yadell rushes to the line, under center, takes a snap, rolls out to the right side, and walks into the end zone.
Yeah, nobody there at all for the Crusaders.
And a late flag comes out as there is a tangle up between the two lines.
I suspect one of those dead ball penalties on the kickoff.
Well, the officials walking toward the North Greenville sideline, motioning against Newberry. It's a dead ball.
Like conduct. Your spot.
Well, once again, caught half of that, but it was a unsportsmanlike. Okay, just getting the play number right, but it was a unsportsmanlike against Newberry. Now this sets up for another interesting situation. Newberry's up 5. If they go for 2, they're back up 7.
Yaldell's still on the field.
I think Newberry's going to go for this, try and get back up by 7. And even though the unsportsmanlike penalty is going to back them up across the 15 to the 17.
So they're assessing the penalty now instead of on the kickoff. I would think they'd have to go for the field goal now.
Yeah, and that looks to be the case. Here comes the place kicker, Shea Rogers, out. So this will now go from an extra point to a 34-yard extra point. Snap is down, kick is low, but it will scoot left, no good.
No good. That's 2 PATs that they've lost tonight.
So if there's any victory to take away from that, that's 2 missed PATs tonight for North Greenville. Newberry will still more than likely head into the half with a 5-point lead at 15-10. Unless Richard Witherspoon sneaks up and takes it all the way back again.
Now we're Nigel Gay. He's got 18.8 left on the clock. North Greenville with 2 timeouts left. See what they can put together on the offense. It's been a very entertaining first half, Gray.
It has, back and forth. Newberry coming out, passing more than rushing, and big number in the stat line. Newberry holding North Greenville to only 34 passing yards. And also another big storyline, leading rusher for North Greenville, Ashton Hurd, out on the sideline with a left hand injury sustained early in the first quarter. We don't expect him to be back at least this ball game, so we'll have to assess his status going forward into the game against UNC Pembroke. Newberry looking to spoil the Crusaders' undefeated party again. Witherspoon back deep at his own 9. Rogers will kick it away. He'll pooch kick it again to the far side. This one again, Tamaje Rooks on the return. Sticks to that far side. Rooks stutter steps, gets him open field. 45 and brought down at midfield. Decent return, 12.3 seconds.
Plenty of time to get down for Gravely's foot. Just all he needs about another 20 yards.
Well, we know for sure his range is good from 47, so they need to get to the 30, at least the 30, so that's 20 yards away.
Yeah, he got that 47-yarder in the first game of the year, but he showed that he had more leg than that.
Yeah, the way he's been firing extra points. So Hunter in the gun, 2 receivers right, 2 left, the tailback Tristan Jackson. Chance for 1, maybe 2 plays. Hunter drops back to pass. Newberry brings pressure. Hunter steps up, scrambles out to the near side, looking down the field, and throws it incomplete to his tailback Jackson.
Yeah, unfortunately it cost him a lot of time. They're down to 5.3 now. Yeah, that was not a good play. Good coverage down the field, though, for the Newberry College.
Yeah, defensive backs able to keep pace with the receivers who are running seam routes down the field.
Yeah, the Wolves definitely had that one figured out.
So a Hail Mary coming up. 5 seconds to go before the half. 3 receivers right, 1 left. See if Newberry goes with the prevent. They rush 4. Hunter forced to step up again. Scrambles, throws, and incomplete, and there's a flag out as the horn sounds. And another flag.
Yeah, both teams are staying on the field. This might be on the defense.
More pushing and shoving over on the Newberry sideline.
I think one call might be they pushed the player out of bounds before the ball was there. That would be a pass interference call.
Coach Knight for Newberry halfway out to the hash marks on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go out and pick up the flag.
So they're already pushing North Greenville back.
No time on the clock.
Oh boy, have an untimed down. Now one official coming over to talk to Coach Farrington.
We thank our viewers for staying with us as we approach the halftime. We're going to take just a short break, and we hope you'll join us back here on the second half in just a few moments.
Holding, 6 the offense. Penalties declined. Play.
And that's the end of the second quarter.
Well, one was a holding call against North Greenville. The other was a dead ball personal foul against Newberry. We won't get a chance to see whether they'll be both accepted, and we'll head to the half. So Newberry leads at 15-10. they will have a chance to tack on to that lead as they will receive the second half kickoff. So Dave, what have we seen, what have we learned, and overall impressions of that first half?
Well, the one thing that I had to take away on the first half, Gray, is the penalties on both teams. Newberry with a lot of penalties and Greenville with a lot of yardage. Penalties for Newberry was 7 penalties for 60 yards. North Greenville had 6 penalties for 52. So again, they're about even. It seemed like it took the momentum out of both teams as they were moving down the field, especially for Newberry. They had a couple long runs brought back on those penalties. That really took the wind out of their sails.
And both coaches will head into the locker rooms and look to make that a point of emphasis in your halftime speech. Try and clean this game up for the second half. So we'll step away for our halftime break. Newberry leading North Greenville 15-10. The Wolves get the second half kickoff. We'll bring you back to more football here from Yount Stadium on a Saturday night here on the North Greenville Sports Network.
The North Greenville University Administration and Board of Trustees proudly presents their 2016 Marching Crusader Band. The drum majors for the Crusader Band are Nicole Bridges and Ashley Campbell. The woodwind captains are Jenna Thomas, Olivia Curry, Nathan Royal, and Ethan Griggs. The brass captains are Brian Valenzuela, Garrett Roberge, Sarah Schism, Corey Merritt, and Jessica McDonald. The fencing captains are Carson Myers and Francesca Scott. The guard captain is Emily Hamburg. The featured twirler is Miss Rachel Hubert, who was just named Miss Majorette of the Southeast and is a top 5 collegiate national finalist for 2016. And now, with great pride, the Marching Crusader Band encourages you to sit back and enjoy this year's halftime show, which is designed around the music of Rodgers and Hammerstein's great movie and musical, The Sound of Music. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your marching Crusader band. Thank you, Rachel Huber. Marching Crusader band is under the direction of C. Philip McIntyre. Percussion director is Dr. Christopher Davis. The guard choreographer Jessica Cooley. The drill designer Dr. David Codd. And the visual technician Joshua Rogg. The Marching Crusaders would like to thank the administration, faculty, staff, and all the students here at North Greenville for their support. The band would also like to thank family, friends, and businesses that have supported them through the years. Thank you, Marching Crusader Band.
Back here at halftime between North Greenville and Newberry. Newberry leading North Greenville 15-10 at the moment. Taking a look around the country for the top 25 games in action right now. Texas A&M leads Auburn 16-7. LSU leading Mississippi State 23-3. Florida all over North Texas 12-0. Michigan State and Notre Dame in a battle of the top 20s. Michigan State ranked 12th, Notre Dame ranked 18th. That one 8-7 in favor of the Spartans. Arkansas holding business or holding serve against Texas State 21-0. Georgia leading Missouri 14-10. Ohio State and Oklahoma has been delayed. Must be having some storms out in Norman. Washington leading Portland State 14-0. Stanford leading USC 7-0. Yes, Christian McCaffrey does have a touchdown. Earlier today, Alabama got the monkey off their back by beating Ole Miss in an offensive shootout 48-3. Louisville clobbered Florida State 63-20 in the game that College Game Day was at. Michigan had some trouble with Colorado, but eventually the Wolverines pulled away in that one 45-28. Clemson, as usual, beat South Carolina State 59-0. Wisconsin had to hang on against Georgia State 23-17. Upset of the day goes to the Bison of North Dakota State, taking down the 13th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes 23-21 on a field goal with 5 seconds left to go in the game. Tennessee somehow held on against Ohio 28-19. Nebraska took down Oregon 35-32. Miami all over App State 45-10. The final from Thursday, Houston took care of business against Cincinnati 40-16, and Baylor beat Rice. That final from Friday 38-10. Now for some more local scores, we'll head to the SoCon as Furman is in action against the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. The Mocs lead that one 7-0 over the Paladins. The Citadel, who North Greenville will see later on in the season in October, beat Gardner-Webb 31-24. A game you might not have known about, but West Carolina and East Tennessee State took place at Bristol, and the Bucks of East Tennessee took care, just barely able to edge Western Carolina 34-31. So 2 games at Bristol Motor Speedway this year. Wofford all over Johnson C. Smith 59-0, and then another final from the SoCon, Mercer beating Tennessee Tech 34-27.
That top 25 loss by Florida State is going to shake up the rankings a little bit, Greg.
Yeah, I expect Michigan to move up. Clemson will probably move up. Depends on who is third, though. I keep forgetting who's third. Ohio State, and they're delayed in Oklahoma, so we'll have to wait and see how that one turns out. But Alabama, since they beat Ole Miss, they'll probably stay more than likely number 1. And I feel you have Louisville jumping up all the way to 2 at least. If not number 1, at least 2.
Yeah, Clemson's got to figure out what team they're going to put on the field. Yeah. The one that's going to play or the one that's going to give a close game.
Now they scored 59 against South Carolina State, but I hate to say it, but it's still, you're kind of expected to win that game, like you're kind of expected to win against Troy.
Well, I think that's part of Clemson's problem, too. They have a little complacency. I have to admit, I've not seen that here in Tigerville with the North Greenville Crusaders. They play every down, every game, just like it's right on the line.
Trying to see if we can find the Big South. I know there's some local schools in that one. As Presbyterian down in the Greenwood-Clinton area. Presbyterian beat Campbell 31-14. Let's see if we'll head down to Division II, see if we can find some South Atlantic schools and Gulf South in action. Not seeing anybody yet. But in the meantime, North Greenville back on the field warming up, and Newberry leading 15-10. We'll tell you how we got there. North Greenville struck first, 4:05 left to play in the first quarter. A Tracy Scott 48-yard run put North Greenville up 6-0. Then later on, Markel Castle got a 9-yard pass from Raleigh Yadell. That one put 6 on the board for Newberry, but they missed the PAT. North Greenville then led 7-6. Then Shea Rogers put a 25-yard field goal on scoreboard for Newberry. The Wolves took the lead 9-7. Matt Gravely for NGU answered later, 6:57 left to play in the second, a 41-yarder, put North Greenville back on top until 18 seconds left to go in the first half. Raleigh Goodell ran it in from 1 yard out. Again, the PAT was missed by Newberry, and that's how we have arrived at a 15-10 lead. Three storylines actually to follow. We'll go over those again. Only 34 yards passing total for North Greenville. Penalties, we have 13 total, 7 for Newberry, 6 for North Greenville, and Ashton Hurd out for the rest of the game for NGU.
I would also add on there, Gray, number 98, Desmond Williams for the Crusaders, with a blocked PAT and a blocked field goal, I believe it was a blocked kick.
I believe he just missed it wide left.
But he blocked a pass, that's what it was. There was a pass out to the flat. He had his hands up here and blocked it.
Yep, Desmond Williams with his second blocked PAT of the year.
Right, Coach can't teach that. It's just a natural ability the players have to get their arms up on the play.
Raleigh Goodell, 13 of 22 for 134 yards and a touchdown. His counterpart Will Hunter, 5 for 14, 34 yards through the air. No touchdowns. Tracy Scott leads the way rushing for North Greenville, 5 rushes, 56 yards and a touchdown. Simeon Bird second with 7 rushes for 41 yards. Raleigh Goodell, also Newberry's leading rusher, 9 carries for 56 yards. But Dave, you were talking about his legs before the game, and then you proved to be correct.
Yeah, the stats sheet that we saw earlier this week just showed that he had the leading rushing for Newberry, and we kind of expected that he would do that again tonight. Early on, the Crusaders had a spy that was watching him coming out of the backfield,
they did, yes.
But it seems like they abandoned that, and he started picking up some yards again.
On the ground, we have 155 yards total offense, 228 total offense for Newberry. Rushing yardages, North Greenville does lead in that category, 121 to 94. But with 1/2 left to go, that could start forcing North Greenville to throw it a lot more. Newberry's 5 of 9 on third downs. North Greenville only 2 of 7. The Wolves also leading in time of possession, 16:38 to 13:22. Turnover, neither team has managed to turn it over yet. No interceptions and no fumbles. And that's about it. Markel Castle, 4 catches, 37 yards. Braxton Ivory, 2 for 43. Cole Watson, 2 for 16. And Swindler, 2 for 14 for Newberry. Tracy Scott leading the receiving category for North Greenville, 2 for 17. Javon Smith, 2 for 7. And Devon Turman, the tight end, 1 for 10.
I'd like for Newberry to start going to number 1, Wesley Jordan. He fills in for Castle when he's not catching the ball or he's double teamed. But he's dropped Wesley Jordan has dropped a couple passes that he should have caught for Newberry, and I'm sure he's going to tighten that up here in the second half.
Defensively, Tony Godbolt and Sam Houston lead the way with 6 total tackles. For the Wolves, Ramik Smith with 5, Joe Blue but just behind him with 4, and then Moffitt and Adams each with 3.
As we're just about ready for the start of the second half. Not a single breeze in the air. So no advantage to either team here in the second half.
The slight breeze, if any, that we have is out of the east-southeast at 3 miles an hour.
They're going to kick off at the 50 too, Ray.
Foul against White. That 15 yards is assessed on this kickoff for kicking.
Right, it's because of the unsportsmanlike penalty at the end of the half against Newberry. That moves the kickoff from the 35 up to the 50, 15 yards, and Gravely all but has a touchback here.
Gravely has the ability to put it over the
from here he might kick
field house.
He might kick a 67-yard field goal. Won't count, but it'd be nice. Return man back deep in their own end zone as Gravely will bash this one, and it is good.
Good.
he made the uprights.
Yeah, 60-yard field goal.
So it'll be a touchback and unofficial field goal for Matt Gravely.
Good practice.
Yeah, really good practice. So that will bring the ball out to the Newberry 20-yard line. Should be 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be the 25.
So Wolves lead it by 5. They've been able to get several sustained drives put together, and some helped out by penalties against North Greenville. Matt Gravely with his second touchback. Now Udell right back on the field, 4 wide set, 2 left, 2 right. Udell gets a snap, hands off to his tailback. Doctor dancing in between the tackles and gets a yard, maybe 2. It'll be second down and closer to 8.
Number 90, Anthony Blair. Number 91, Seth Lauder. Make the stop. For NGU. Short gain on the play. Second down. Coming up.
Interesting to see what the coaches talked about at halftime, to see what changes are going to be made to each team now.
4 wide set again for Udell. Calls for the snap here on second down. Fakes the handoff to his tailback. Looks to the far side. Now forced to scramble. Brings it back to the near side. Throws it down the field. In and out of the hands of his receiver as he had Markel Castle open on the field. And then in turn, it was almost intercepted by Witherspoon.
I think Witherspoon was a little bit surprised because he expected Castle to catch that. Yeah, the crowd getting back into it again.
3rd down, and Newberry needs 9 to keep the drive alive. Udell drops back in the gun, tailback to his right, 4 wide set, 2 left, 2 right. Udell waits for the snap, drops back to pass, now steps up, scrambles out to the far side, lots of open turf. Udell to the 45, gets to midfield to the 40, 35, 30, 25, finally shoved out of bounds. And a big pickup by Udell will flip the fields for Newberry.
There's Udell's legs again, Gray. They didn't have the spy on him. I sort of wondered if they might not have a quarterback keeper on that one with such long yardage.
He almost ran for 6. Newberry still might get it here anyway as the play clock needs to be reset. They do so. Newberry goes hurry up. Snap to Udell, looking left. Now throws over the middle. Pass complete to Castle. And nowhere to go for Castle as now Wade. He cuts it back to the right and dragging tacklers with him down to the 16. Here's a score from North Greenville's next opponent, UNC Pembroke. They got a victory over Shaw. UNC Pembroke 38-19. They win that one. The Braves are 2-0 on the year. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Udell looks to the right. Pass complete to Ivory. Ivory inside the 10 gets dropped at the 7. That'll be first down and goal for Newberry.
Newberry pushing the ball now. That long run by Udell setting up possible another score.
Now here comes Udell, set up in the gun. 3 receivers left this time. Checks back to the sideline. Gets a snap, hands it off to Doctor. Now Udell keeps it, scrambles back to the right, is going to take off, gets to the 5, cuts it back left, and spins around in the end zone for a Wolves touchdown.
Udell using his legs again, Gray. We saw that coming into the game. In the pregame, we talked about it. North Greenville's going to have to step up the defense, put somebody on him. He's scoring too easy now.
That reminded me a lot of the way Josh Dobbs used to run. For Tennessee, that is. And so let's see if Rogers can tack on this extra point.
He reminds me of the Crusaders' Sneed, too.
Snap is down, kick is on its way, and this one is good into the bushes, and Newberry leads it 22-10. Also out of the South Atlantic, Catawba beats Carson Newman 40-20. And so good. That's a score out of the South Atlantic. I'm going to double check my dates. ESPN. Yes, definitely. Okay, yes. Yes. So in the meantime, North Greenville now down by 12. They have their work cut out for them, their largest deficit of the game.
Crusaders running backs are going to have to step up now. With Ashton Hurt on the sideline, he's walking around with no helmet, so I don't think he's coming back in tonight.
And it's nothing against Will Hunter, but do you try and throw Colin Sneed in there to give Newberry a different look?
Sneed proved a couple weeks ago that he can handle it, even though he is a freshman.
Rogers will kick this one off.
Number 69.
Number 25 back deep to return for North Greenville. That's a change back there as Cam Rice is back to return.
Number 25, Cam Rice, deep for the Crusaders.
Rogers to the football, and again a pooch kick to the right side will take a hop out of bounds, and that will bring out a flag and set North Greenville up with decent field position.
Exactly. He has not had long kickoffs at all tonight.
I think the longest one made it to about he's had a couple that's made it to the 20, and that's about the extent.
Crusaders have to keep that player back in the end zone just in case he does get a hold of one. But they need to put some good hands people up closer.
A free kick out of bounds will set North Greenville up from the 35-yard line. And now they've got it's not a sense of urgency yet, but it'd do wonders for your confidence to be able to get down and put points on the board.
Quickly. They need to do it in 2 or 3 plays.
Newberry's defense has been all but smothering today.
Crusaders have got to take advantage of Mason Sanders with that height. He's got the speed.
Sanders still looking for his first recorded catch in this game. 2 receivers line up left. Sanders lines up over on the right. Pistol set with Hunter. The tight end Turman to his right. Hunter gets a snap, fakes the handoff. It's an end around to Bird. Counterplay to Bird as he gets to the 40. So a 5-yard pickup as he ran into one of his receivers blocking for him. Be 2nd down and 5.
Good run by Bird.
Bird stays in to the right side of Hunter. 2 receivers left. 2 over right. Hunter gets a snap. Quick throw out to the flat on the near side. It is caught and bumped out of bounds as DeMaje Rooks for a 4-yard pickup, 1 yard shy of the first down.
Quick play by Hunter that time. Didn't get a call from the sidelines like he usually gets.
3rd down and 1 yard to go. Hunter is going to go under center for this one. Quarterback sneak and gets a shove from his tailback Bird to push him over the first down.
I think the Wolves expected that, Gray, because they had nobody deep, no safeties at all deep. They could have easily pulled that ball back and sent one of the receivers down and had a wide open field.
It is not often at all. In fact, very rare that you see North Greenville going under center, but they make it work. 3 receivers right. Hunter throws to the left side. Sanders finally gets his first official catch, and he's bumped out of bounds in Wolves territory at the 48. Could this be the start of something?
I hope Sanders had enough Gatorade at halftime because he's probably going to be called on a lot.
Sanders switches over to the right side of the line. Hunter, pistol set. Bird behind him. It's a handoff to Bird. Bird straight up the middle. Has a good hold. Stays on his feet to the 30. 25, 20. Bird down to the 15. Dragging like a tackler with him. Inside the 10. 1st and goal, North Greenville.
Fantastic run. He carried that last defender, the last chance they had to keep him out of the end zone. He carried him 15 yards.
Holy smokes, that he did. Wow. Bird keeps it going. Now 1st down and goal from the Newberry 7. Got to wait for the change to catch up.
Yeah, no sense trying to quick snap here.
Hunter calls for the snap. 1 receiver left, 2 right. Hunter rolls out, throws a laser beam to Sanders, and he is in. Touchdown.
Yeah, Sanders finally getting into the game.
And what a response to North Greenville. or what a response from North Greenville will set Gravely up here for the PAT. Looking to cut the lead to 5.
I wonder if Crusaders are going to go with Gravely's toe this time.
Oh boy, a line drop. That kick was low, but good.
A couple field goals out of Gravely take the lead.
So 22-17, North Greenville down 5. Now can the Crusaders defense respond? Amazing what people will do for free pizza.
Exactly.
Pizza provided by the Papa John's just down North Tigerville Road at the general store at the edge of campus. Now somebody got it.
Crusaders can get the ball to Sanders a few more times, he might get some of that free pizza.
They might just be able to, but first you got to stop Raleigh Yadell in this rushing attack. By Yadell.
Right, his legs are carrying him and carrying the whole team right now.
That last run boosted him from 56 yards at halftime to 115. Gravely sends this one deep. Sideways spinner will be returnable from the 1. Sticking to the near side, cutting it back now to the middle of the field. Spin move and trying to break free. Gravely getting in on the tackle again as they bring down Truesdale at the 24.
Gravely might be the leading tackler on these kickoffs.
Well, take it upon yourself.
Usually that kicker stays back.
So now Newberry with Raleigh Adele over 100 yards passing and now over 100 yards rushing. And 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air.
Sideline warning, Newberry College.
Oh, sideline warning against the Wolves. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Yadell gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looks over the middle, sets up the running back screen to Doctor. Doctor again, room to run across the 30 and to the 31-yard line. It'll be short of the first down, but a good pickup of about 7 yards.
That time, Gray, the Crusaders did have a spy on Yadell. He was pretty much in his face, chasing him backwards. He didn't anticipate the screen, I don't think, but he was definitely on his heels.
Second down and officially 2. Yadell in the gun, drops back to pass, looks to the near side, is going to throw it over the middle, caught, wide open again, and almost breaking the tackle is Castle, but again, he's in the North Greenville territory at the 43.
Wolves showing some life again, trying to get that momentum back on their side. Crusaders defense has got to step up here.
2 receivers line up right, 2 to the left side. Newberry now going hurry up. Yadell calls for the snap, looks, quick pass far side, caught and shoved out of bounds at the 40 is number 19 on the reception, Cole Watson.
Number 19, Cole Watson. On the play.
Quick pickup of 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Yadell drops back in the gun again. Doctor to his right. It's a snap, fakes the handoff, Yadell's going to keep it, bouncing it out to the near side edge, and nowhere to go. Sam Houston tracks him down from behind.
Good Crusader defense. They're definitely spying on Yadell now. They're not going to let him get anything with those legs. He's going to have to throw that ball, hand it off.
That's going to be a loss of close to 3 yards, 3rd down and 8. Liddell's going with an empty backfield again.
Now this is where he likes to have that option play where he runs right up the middle.
3 receivers left, 2 right. See who spies on Liddell. Gets a snap, looks to pass. Here comes the pressure, throws to the near side, and it will be broken up at the 28.
Good play.
Nigel Gay able to defend number 6 for Newberry. That's Jackson Swindler, and it's 4th down for Newberry.
Best that he broke that up, because on his angle, he wouldn't have had any room to bring it back if he'd intercepted it. So best to set up that 4th down.
So Newberry out of field goal range will bring Shea Rogers on to kick it away, looking to pin North Greenville deep as Nigel Gay stands at his own 10. High snap, North Greenville brings pressure, but Rogers gets his punt off, and it will take a bounce backwards, and North Greenville get a little bit more breathing room as it stops at the 17.
9:01 on the 3rd quarter clock now. Change of possession. See what the Crusaders can put together with their offense. They did pretty well on that other drive.
Best drive of the game for Will Hunter. Just over 51 yards through the air, but Hunter picked up his first touchdown pass, connecting up with Mason Sanders, who now is the 2nd leading receiver on the team for this game. 2 catches for 13 yards in that touchdown. Here's Hunter, pistol set, 2 receivers right, Sanders left. Hunter gets a snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to the far side, looks down the field, lets it loose. Man wide open at the 1st down mark. It is caught, but still room to run for Javon Smith, and he will have the 1st down.
Will Hunter for the Crusaders now finding his arm, looking for those open receivers.
1st down at the 28. Crusaders driving from right to left. 4 receivers on this formation. They set up the screen to the far side. Smith again on the reception, but shoved out of bounds after a 2-yard pickup.
And about 2 on the play. Number 8, Joe Blue on the stop for the Wolves.
Crusaders need to get more yardage than just 2 on each play.
Here's Bird back in at tailback. Smith and Rooks over to the right side. Sanders here on the near side. Laquan White covering Sanders. And lots of movement up front.
Yep. Flag on the play. More penalties.
76 the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd.
False start makes it a 2nd from a 2nd down and 8 to a 2nd down and 13.
We'll repeat 2nd down.
North Greenville catching back up to Newberry in a category you don't want to catch up to somebody into.
Yeah, the penalty yards, 75 for Newberry and 52 for North Greenville.
3 receivers now line up left. Sanders switches over to the right side. Hunter Bird behind him. It's a snap. Handoff to Bird. Bird bouncing it up the middle again. Now to the far side. Bird has the 1st down to the 45 and out of bounds at the 47, 46. Either way, 1st down NGU.
Not a single Wolf touched him until he went out of bounds.
1st and 10 from the Crusader 46. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Hunter trying to get everybody on the same page. A tight end to the right side of Hunter. Bird stays in at tailback. Again, handoff to Bird. And Bird gets buried at the 48-yard line after a pickup of 2.
Bird hit that hole. Armand Lindsay just cleared out his man to the right. Allowed Bird to come in right where that guard was.
Now here comes Bird out. Tracy Scott will check in. Hunter in the gun. 2 receivers and a tight end left side. Hunter forced to scramble out. He delayed, handed it off to Scott, and Scott was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think it stuck it in his back pocket that time.
North Greenville used to run the delayed handoff to great effectiveness between Nelson Hughes and Trey Walker. A little bit of a almost waited too late that time. 3rd down and 8. 4 receiver set for Hunter. Scott in the backfield with him. A snap to Hunter. He'll drop back. Throw to the near side. Pass complete, and it's good enough for a 1st down to DeMaje Rooks.
Good play by Rooks. He knew exactly where the marker was.
And he turned around and stopped.
Exactly. And the ball was right there when he turned around. Good play by the Crusaders.
1st down into Newberry territory at the Fort Wolves 42.
6:22 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Sanders left, Rooks and Smith right. Turman the tight end, left side of Hunter with Tracy Scott in the backfield as well. Handoff to Scott. Scott bouncing it out to the right side, gets a block from the tight end Turman and picks up 5 to the 37.
Scott broke a long one up in the first half, trying to get that second long run.
Greenville needs 5 here on the 2nd down. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Hunter in the gun. The snap to Hunter, looking left, throws and complete underneath in traffic, and falling across the 1st down marker is the receiver in a late flag. DeMaje Rooks on the reception, and we'll sort out the penalty.
Yeah, Rooks used his leg to pick up at least 2 more yards.
And once again, all the Newberry players saying it's against NGU. It very well might be.
The result of the play is a 1st down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 64 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Gotta stop getting the penalties. Gotta stop getting the penalties. Well, North Greenville does pick up the 1st down, but they go backwards to the Newberry 46.
15-yard penalty. Backs North Greenville up to the 46-yard line. It will still be 1st and 10.
Penalties are killing both teams tonight, Gray. Saw that in the first half.
Yeah, both teams now with 8 each. 1 receiver left, 2 right. Pistol set, tight end in the backfield with Scott and Hunter. Hunter, the snap, looking down the middle of the field, throws, and his receiver slipped and fell, intended for Sanders. Some in the crowd wanting a pass interference.
2nd and 10.
North Greenville trying to put together something, get down that field. Even if they can get another 15 yards, they can put Gravely's foot in play.
2nd down and 10. Pedro Maginal checks in. Part of the trio of receivers to the right side of the line. Sanders bunched up here on the left side. Scott moves up. Hunter in the gun. He'll drop back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Hunter forced to scramble, directing blockers, throws down the field, pass complete. And going forward is Maginal. 1st down NGU.
Will Hunter's been very effective rolling to his right. Has to be very careful about that off past the yard marker, but he's calling him right on the line.
To the 30 of Newberry goes North Greenville. Now a trio of receivers to the left side of the line. The tight end Turman anchors the right side.
If they can hold the ball, Gravely's toes in play now.
The tight end drops back to the backfield. Hunter gets a snap, runs Scott to the right side, follows the tight end, spins off 1 blocker, and then runs into the rest of the defense after he picks up 2 yards to the 28.
About 2 yards on the play.
Scott seems to be more effective for the Crusaders running to his left than to his right.
2nd down and 8. Here comes Rooks and Sanders back in. Maginal switches to the left side with Smith. Hunter drops back in the gun. Scott to his left. The snap. Hunter will drop back. Here comes the pressure by Newberry. Hunter dances, throws it up to the infield, looking for Sanders, and he caught it, but he was out.
Yeah, little too far, Greg.
Pass thrown to number 13, Mason Sanders out of the end zone. Incomplete.
Led his man too far, about 4 yards out of the back of the end zone, and now it's 3rd down and 8. I'm going to draw up here on 3rd down.
Tristan Jackson, that short gain, even though he's got 8 yards to go, Jackson back in the fullback position.
Trips right side for NGU. Sanders one-on-one over here on the left side. Hunter will drop back, look Sanders' way, throws it up again for Sanders. Lots of contact and no flag.
I think they said the ball was uncatchable.
That one was sailed out of bounds, and now it's 4th down from the 28.
Gravely back on the field. Get them 3 points closer here.
Be a 45-yarder.
Crusaders down by 5. All they need is a couple field goals to take the lead.
From the far side hash this time.
Wolves 22, Crusaders 17.
Snap is down, kick is up and its way. It's got the distance, and it's good. So Gravely is good from 41 and 45 today. And that cuts the lead to 2.
I think I'd call Lloyds of London and put a policy on that right foot.
It's just something that he and his brother have been doing. Of course, his brother Justin Gravely, 4 years here at North Greenville. Both of them coming from Pickens High School in Pickens, South Carolina. His brother set the field goal record, 47 yards against Carson Newman. Matt tied it on his first kick, and so it's good to see the kicking tradition continue.
Before the season started, I had an opportunity to talk to the Crusaders special teams coach, and he said he thought he'd use Gravely limited this season, but I think Gravely has proved to him that he's trustworthy and he's been getting a lot of play time.
I believe that role has since expanded. So 3:58 left to go. It's 22-20 after the Gravely field goal.
Yeah, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so a lot of football left to play. As always, we appreciate our viewers staying with us on the North Greenville Sports Network. Happy to bring you tonight's game. A reminder that we'll be back with you Wednesday for volleyball.
So Gravely ready for another kickoff, looking for his 3rd touchback of the game. Sends this one high, end over end kick will be returnable from the 1. Sticking to the near side and upended at the 23 is number 80 on the return again for Newberry. That is Keenan Lewis.
I believe that's the best Crusader kickoff coverage of the night, Gray.
Yeah, normally and covering the whole special teams and all punt and kick coverage, that is definitely the best of the night. They've let Cole Watson get by him, and they've let both Lewis and Truesdale get by him a couple of times, but solid coverage there. Now can you hold Yadell out of the end zone? 184 on the ground, 113. Or 184 through the air, 113 on the ground for the preseason first teamer out of the South Atlantic Conference. Option play, Yadell options it to the far side, and Greg gets out to the 27. That's a pickup of 3, 2nd down.
I remember a few years ago watching the Texas Longhorns. That's about the only play they had on the playbook.
Option. 2nd down and 7. Yadell back in the gun, 1 receiver left, 2 right. Motions a hand signal out to his receivers on the right side. Gets a snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out, try to take it around the right side edge. Doesn't get the block, and he's brought down behind the line.
Great tackle by number 43, Dalton Pilgrim.
The linebacker, what I liked about that play is the linebacker stayed home, played his position, and brought down the runner.
Dalton Pilgrim from Central went to Daniel High School. He learned something over there because he showed it tonight.
Daniel normally not too bad at high school football. 3rd down and 9 after the loss. 4 receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Empty backfield for Udell as there's 3 receivers left side. 5 wide set. Udell gets the snap, and I thought I heard a whistle. Yes, there are whistles, and here comes the far side official. False start signaling in.
False start. Offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty.
So that's going to make it 3rd down and 14. Yeah, 14.
Newberry with 9 penalties tonight. North Greenville with 8.
That's a number you don't want to see getting higher and higher. So now still a 5 wide set. Udell be all alone in the backfield.
Put that spy out if you're a Crusader fan. Keep that spy out for Udell. He likes to run in these situations.
The snap to Udell, looking to the far side. Here comes the pressure, scrambles out to the near side, and he gets away from the pressure, scrambling back to the original line of scrimmage and gets cut down at the 20.
Another great tackle. That time by number 21. Trey Bonner from Newella, Georgia.
Might be the play of the night for Mr. Bonner as Shea Rogers comes back out on the field to kick another ball away for Newberry from his own 5. Gay at his own 41. North Greenville rushes 3 and almost block it as Rogers gets a wobbly kickoff, and it will bounce sideways out of bounds to the far side. And North Greenville will start from their own 49-yard line.
Wolves were very fortunate, Gray, that snap was high. He was able to bring it down just in time to get it off.
Rogers 6 foot even, had to jump a couple of inches higher to bring that one down. Otherwise, it's out of the back of the end zone.
Crusader student body getting into the game now.
Yes, they are. Parents still, once again, Parents Night open house for North Greenville.
Great crowd on both sides.
And you don't want to miss the Battle of I-26. This rivalry has been played off and on since 1997 and always produces great matchups. As they bring a receiver in motion from the left side to the right side. Hunter gets the handoff, hands it off to Bird. He gets across midfield. He gets across midfield into the 48 of Newberry.
Number 99 to Marcus Henderson.
Once again, Gray, we're about 20 yards short for Gravely's toe again. Put the Crusaders in the lead.
Yeah, man, they would be ahead by 1 point. As Hunter turns to the far side, throws high, but brought down by Smith, and nowhere to go for Smith.
Oh, great coverage by the Wolves. 53 seconds to go in the quarter. No team in any hurry.
I think I see the strength coach, Andre Bernardi, running up and down the sideline trying to keep everybody positive. As North Greenville now facing a 3rd down and 7 with 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And very important down coming up.
Let's see if the strength of that offensive line can push them back.
Hunter with 3 receivers left. It's a snap. It's a handoff to Bird. Bird finds a little bit of a gap and gets brought down well short of the 1st down at the 47.
That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter.
And Foose is going to come back on to punt it away.
And there's the horn ending the 3rd quarter. But the Wolves up 22-20. They'll change ends again.
And North Greenville will give it back to Newberry to start the 4th quarter. So that's the end of 3. Both teams Actually, Newberry over 300 yards of offense. North Greenville approaching 300 yards of offense. At the end of 3, North Greenville down 2 to Newberry here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Back here on the North Greenville Sports Network, final quarter of play between North Greenville and Newberry. Wolves up by 2 and set to get the ball back. And Dave, we keep talking about it, and we sound like a broken record, but the penalties have been tallying up for both teams tonight.
Yeah, Gray. Newberry with 9 penalties for 80 yards. North Greenville 8 penalties for 72 yards.
Foose on to kick it away. Watson's normally been back deep to return them. Motion for the snap. Good snap to Foose. Flag comes out. Foose, end over end kick. Fair catch called for and received. And Watson bobbles it. It's still loose. And the scramble for it as it rolls out of bounds. Close call. There is a penalty marker at the 47.
Now they're marking the ball as Newberry ball, but let's see what the penalty is.
Couldn't be a false start, otherwise they would have stopped play. Officials having to deliberate about it.
Illegal formation, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, tacked on at the dead ball spot.
Well, the one problem I have with that is nobody blew a whistle. They allowed the play to continue.
Exactly.
So I'm a little confused on how that's a dead ball.
I don't know if this officiating crew does the games together with other teams or not, but they sure got to know each other tonight.
They've definitely been, they've had those now 18 penalties to meet up and talk about. Anyway, after it's all said and done, first down and 10 for Newberry. At the opening of the fourth quarter, they'll start from their own 31. Could be a statement drive for Newberry. It doesn't necessarily put the game away for you, but it proves once again you can answer an opposing score. 3 receivers right for Yadell. Doesn't get the handoff in time. Now he's forced to scramble. Flag comes out as he tiptoes the sideline and falls out of bounds back at the 37. But again, the caution flags continue to fly.
Yeah, more laundry.
Holding. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Replay first.
That's Newberry's 10th penalty of the night. North Greenville's not far behind with 9. And that costs the Wolves from the spot of the foul, or excuse me, from the line of scrimmage, and they'll put it back to the 21. So first down and 20. 3 receivers right again, 1 left. Yadell drops back in the gun, tailback to his right, now motions to his left. It's a snap, and hands it off to Greg, trying to turn the right side edge, and he's not going to get there. Sam Houston tracks him down, as well as, once again, Dalton Pilgrim.
Yeah, good tackling by the entire front line for the Crusaders. They had that one figured out.
So Newberry backs up inside the 20 to the 16. Second down and 26. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Yadell still on the gun, Greg to his right. Can't afford to let Yadell get behind you. Already got 111 on the ground as he fakes the handoff, now throws deep down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Looking for number 80, that was Lewis.
Inadvertent contact, legs got tangled up there a little bit. I don't think he would have caught the ball anyway, but it looked like it might have almost been intercepted if he hadn't tripped a little bit.
I think that was Tony Godbold over there on the far side, either him or Nigel Gay in coverage. Now it's 3rd down in Spartanburg.
13:48 to play in the game.
3 receivers left, 1 right. Yadell in the gun. North Greenville backs off on coverage, and now Yadell will check the sideline.
Big play for both teams right here, Greg.
See if North Greenville motions their coverage up. They drop back again, and another flag comes out. Official stop play. And the play clock is showing zeros.
Your penalty. 3rd down.
Delay of game on Newberry. Now 3rd down and 31. Newberry from their own 10. Same formation, 4 receivers, unbalanced to the left side. Yadell in the gun, tailback to his right, checking the sideline. Play clock at 15. He'll get the snap, look to the near side. Now steps up, throws back to the far side, and it is incomplete. Looking for Watson. Newberry will be forced to punt.
Looked like Matthew Thomas may have broken that play up for the Crusaders. Number 3, Matthew Thomas for the Crusaders from Florence, South Carolina.
Now Nigel Gay stands in Newberry territory at the 42. Rogers 5 yards deep in his own end zone. And North Greenville lucky to not hit the punter as Gay calls for the fair catch at the 43. They almost blocked that one.
Almost. Crusaders with good field position now.
And from here, well, you still got a 30. The 30 is field goal range. It's
about another 15 yards for Grambling. I know they'd rather have the touchdown.
And definitely have that insurance in your back pocket with still plenty of time left in this 4th quarter, 13:38 to play. Look for Sanders to get more involved. He's here on the right side with Rooks. Smith over on the left side. Tracy Scott in at tailback behind the quarterback Hunter. Now they bring Smith in motion across the line, set him up on the right side. Hand off to Scott to follow Smith. Looking for a hole. Scott gets to the 40. Flag comes out. And that run might be coming back.
Scott used his legs very well there. Keep pushing forward.
10-yard penalty.
Another holding call. Now 1st down and 20 for North Greenville. This is how Newberry's drive started, and they kept going backwards. Let's see if North Greenville can avoid the same fate. 3 receivers line it up right again. Terman, the tight end, looks to be lining up offset on the left side of the line as the play clock's running down on Will Hunter.
Down
5.
To 5. Yep.
And official running in. Timeout, NGU.
13:06 left in the game. North Greenville going to have to talk this over.
And you hate to burn a timeout this early in the 4th quarter, but facing a 1st down and 20, you want to try and get your plays right so that if you can get within range of the 1st down, you can obviously get the 1st down and then try to go for the score, which is what you need to do. So right now, North Greenville 1 yard shy of 300 yards on total offense. The pass yards starting to get up there. Will Hunter's 14 of 26 for 96 and a touchdown. Simeon Bird, after busting off several big runs, is 13 for 112 yards. Tracy Scott has the lone rushing touchdown tonight for North Greenville. First down and 20 for Hunter. Back in the gun. Trips right. Gets a snap. Drops back to pass. Now will throw it, and it is intended for Smith. And again, everybody wanting a pass interference as there was contact as Smith went out of bounds.
No flag this time. Yeah, it was clear he was pushed out of bounds before the ball ever got there.
But again, was it another case of it was overthrown?
The ball landed in the field of play, so it wasn't out of bounds. It's just a matter of could he have gotten to it. The crowd definitely wanted to call.
Yeah, about everybody on North Greenville sideline. Second down and 20. Hunter now shifts to the pistol with two receivers and a tight end right, one receiver left. Calls for the snap, handoff to Scott, trying to get at some blocks. Scott gets away from one and finally brought down after a yard to the 48.
You can almost see the Newberry Wolves coach saying no penalties, no penalties.
Please, no penalties, that's right. 21, we're up to 21 between the two teams. And almost 200 yards of penalties.
12 and a half to go.
Third down and a long way to go for North Greenville if they can try and convert this. Hunter drops back to pass, looks to the far side, throws that way, and it is dropped by Sanders. Good coverage over there by Newberry. About the only time he wasn't able to out-jump his cover man.
I believe that was Anthony Moffitt, number 27 for the Wolves from Phoenix City, Alabama, jumping at that play right at the right time, knocking the ball away.
Well, Foose back on to kick it away. Cole Watson to return. Still 12 minutes to go, and North Greenville defense will be called upon to make another stop. Foose fires away. Newberry rushes, and then they drop back. Foose gets another boomer off. That will be over the head, and it's going to bounce sideways and go out of bounds at the 7.
Got that one right in the corner. Foose must have been practicing that.
I think he's been trying to do that for most of the night, and he's either gotten too much or gotten too little, but that one was finally just right enough that it turned sideways and hopped out.
Yeah, he got the good bounce. Chance for the Crusader defense now to step up. A stop right here could be big for the Crusaders.
And nobody has still managed to turn it over. Clean sheet in the turnover category. Now the penalties, that's a different story. Two receivers right, one left for Yadell. Motion to tailback to his right. That's Doctor back in. It's a handoff to Doctor. Finds a small hole on the left side of the line. He gets to the 11 and no more. Pick up a 3, second down.
Handoff goes to number 22, Greg.
Greg in there. We haven't called Doctor's name a lot here in the second half.
That's kind of rare for Newberry. He's got a lot of carry yards coming into this game.
Trey Gregg was 8 for 22 in their game against Virginia Union. As Yadell is going to keep it, trying to find some room off the right side, and he finds a yard, if any.
Crusaders defense played that perfectly. Watching those legs, Yadell likes to run.
Crucial third down.
Got to keep a spy on him.
I agree with you 100%, Dave. Got to keep the spy on Yadell, otherwise he will kill you with his legs. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Yadell back in the gun. Steps back out to check the sideline. Changes the play at the line. Under 10 on the play clock. The left guard seems a little confused. 5 on the play clock. Yadell gets the snap, will drop back. Now he's going to step up and be sacked back at the 10.
That'll give the Crusaders good field position again.
Now the defense has come up with another great stop.
They had to on this series.
Nigel Gay dropping back. He'll stop at the Newberry 45. And once again, Shea Rogers will have to kick it away from 5 yards deep in his end zone. North Greenville rushes 1, and whoa, good kick by Rogers over the head of Gay. He'll let it bounce, and it continues rolling inside the 35 down to the 34.
Good kick. Got the Wolves roll.
Shea Rogers bails out.
North Greenville in not as good a field position as they'd hoped to have.
But still, you have weapons in your running backs and plenty of weapons on the outside. You can get down the field in a hurry.
Well, we'll see if the Crusader defense can pass some momentum onto the offense now. 9:55 to go in the game. 22-20 in favor of the Wolves.
Two receivers out left, one right. Sanders goes right. Smith and Rooks go left. Tight end, pistol set to the left of Hughes, or Hunter. Hunter gets the handoff. Bird. Flag comes out again as Bird gets 3 on the play. And once again, another penalty.
Delay game, sideline interference, defense.
Oh, sideline. Now they had their warning earlier. Now, if you remember, Newberry had the sideline warning earlier.
And in the third quarter.
And here in the fourth, it comes back to bite them. So that will move it up to a 2nd down and 2. Ball at the North Greenville 42. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hunter with Bird behind him. It's a snap. Handoff to Bird, straight up the middle. Bird to the 45, stayed on his feet to midfield. And they mark him down actually a yard short of midfield back at the 49, but it's a 1st down. Now 1st and 10 from their own 49. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Hunter drops back in the gun this time. Gets a snap, drops back, looking over the middle, now switches to the near side, throws, and it will be intercepted. Tipped up and lands in the hands of Chase Austin, the linebacker. Wait, no. Pass called incomplete. That was close.
Yeah, I thought he had it. I thought he
did too. It was off the hands of Javon Smith. And there's no review at Division II, so it stands as called.
Yeah, fortunate for the Crusaders.
Hunter gets a snap, quick throws out to the far side. Sanders can't out-juke his defender and gets tackled.
And another flag.
Yeah, another late flag right at the line. Somebody's might reach 20 penalties tonight.
If it weren't for the penalties, this would be a really great
Man
game.
downfield, 66 the offense. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Replace.
That's another ineligible man downfield call against North Greenville.
Just under 9 minutes to go in the game.
The way the ineligible man call works is I think you're allowed 3 yards and you can't go past that. So 2nd down and 15. North Greenville ebbing and flowing, setting up at their 44 here. Motion a tight end out. 2 receivers right, 2 left for Hunter. He'll drop back looking to the far side. Throws that way, and it is overthrown as he had Javon Smith on the run.
Oh, he had 2 steps on him.
And that's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the 2nd straight drive.
It was a good call on the Crusaders' part, trying to go down the field. Hunter just overthrew him just a hair.
They switched tight ends, and now Pedro Maginot will line up at receiver here on the right side, joined by Smith. 2 receivers also on the left side of the line. Hunter in the gun and whistles. Timeout, Newberry. So Coach Knight did not seeing something he liked in his defensive coverage. As we are oh so close to 200 penalty yards combined for both teams. 3 more yards needed, so a false start or an offsides will get it.
Yeah, Newberry has 100 yards penalty and North Greenville with 97. So it's very, very close on the yards.
In the meantime, North Greenville has gone over 300 yards of total offense. Will Hunter needs 4 more yards through the air to get to 100. And Raleigh Goodell continues his amazing senior campaign. 184 on the ground and the score. 184 in the air and the score. 111 on the ground with 2 scores. Can the offense convert, or will the defense be called upon again?
Gravely's begging for 20 yards.
They need to get to the 30 as 2 receivers right, 2 left. Hunter in the gun will drop back. Pressure comes from Newberry. Hunter forced a scramble, and he lets it loose, and it's incomplete. He was out of the tackle box, so no flag for intentional grounding, but it's 4th down. So it turned into a defensive struggle, and with the game currently in Newberry's favor, the Wolves with the edge at the moment.
Wolves showing some great defense on that series. Obviously had all the receivers covered.
And that had to be a point of concern for Coach Knight coming in, as his defense allowed 451 total yards of offense and gave up 32 points a game through those first 2 games, as Foose gets another boomer off that will be called for the fair catch by Watson, and he'll have it at the 18.
So we'll switch possessions with 8:15 left in the game. Again, the Wolves up 22-20 over the Crusaders.
According to the stat sheet I'm looking at, Newberry the Wolves have not turned the ball over at all.
Been mostly a penalty-filled night.
Really? Empty backfield, 5 wide set for Yadell. He'll look to the right side, now turns back left, steps up to avoid the pressure, looking down the field, and it is incomplete, thrown low, intended for Ivory. Second down and 10.
Again, great coverage by the Crusaders. No Wolf receivers open.
Newberry's going to stick with his 5 wide set. Adele checking the sideline again. Now gets it, drops back, looking to the left. Now back to the middle, now right, has to avoid the pressure. Steps up, throws, and it is incomplete. As Vidal scrambling around his receivers trying to come back and help him. That was off the hands of Castle.
Once again, Crusaders covering every receiver. Defense has definitely stepped up for the Crusaders.
North Greenville's defense shifting into a little bit more of a zone. Third down again.
Now they have to watch out for Yeldell's legs.
5 wide, Yeldell all alone in the backfield. Gets the snap, looks to the right, now shifts to the middle. Here comes the pressure, he steps up, takes off. Yeldell to the 25, and he's brought down a yard short. That was almost very disastrous for North Greenville, as it will be 4th down. Surely Newberry won't go for it.
Tough decision on the sideline.
Oh, their offense is staying on the field. They've got a 4th and 1. Oh, now here comes the special teams. I still wouldn't trust it. I'd send your regular defense out there and maybe drop Gay back.
Yeah, well, they switched wholesale, so they're expecting a kick.
Now everybody's got to get set for North Greenville, and a flag. 2 flags.
Yep, nothing on the play clock, down to 0. I don't know if they got a timeout called.
41 the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
False start against Newberry, and that will assuredly take away any idea of a fake.
Also moved Nigel Gay up about 5 yards too.
From the 7. Rogers, another high snap, brings that one down and gets a line drive kick that will be fair caught by Gay at the 44. Again, somehow Shea Rogers able to avoid disaster.
I thought Williams for the Crusaders might be heading in there to block another one. Crusaders with fairly good field position now. 6:55 to go in the game.
And the Crusader offense has been stuffed 2 straight drives. Can they get momentum?
And we're over the 200-yard penalty mark now.
That's something you really don't want to celebrate. Hunter in the pistol set, 4 receivers, gets the snap, hands it off to Bird, and Bird goes nowhere.
Yeah, he lost yardage.
Loses 3 back to the 41. You don't necessarily have to go for the touchdown. You got to. The 30-yard line is Gravely's extent of his range, so. But that seems like an entirely another football field away.
Yeah, the Crusaders have to move the ball. 6:20 left on the clock. There's still a lot of time left, a lot of good football.
Try keep looking the Sanders way. You've had some success here with that in the second half. 4 wide set, 2 right, 2 left. Hunter drops back now, forced to scramble. Hunter's going to take off. Gets to midfield to the 45, and Hunter's out of bounds at the 40. And no flags. First down, North Greenville on the Will Hunter scramble.
Well, Will Hunter said, if you can't get open, I'll take it myself.
He's 3rd on the team in rush yards tonight.
Exactly 6 minutes left. Now they got to move about another 15 yards to get in field goal range.
2 right, 1 left. Hunter lines it up in the pistol with Tracy Scott behind him. Hand off to Scott, up the middle. Scott with a hole, runs into a blocker, drags a tackler with him across the 35 down to the 32, and he's close to the first down.
That's going to be close, yeah. That's going to be real close.
Well, we have a measurement. We haven't had a measurement tonight.
Yeah, that'd be a first, wouldn't it?
Official signals first down.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
So Tracy Scott, 10-yard run. Sets up North Greenville from the 32.
Now they're about 5 yards away from Gravely's toe.
3 receivers right. Tight end backs up into the backfield. Hunter gets a snap, hands it off to Scott, following his tight end Turman. Scott straight up the middle to the 20. Scott bouncing off tacklers to the 15. First down again.
Yeah, Crusaders coming to life now.
Now I think that thought process starts shifting from field goal to touchdown.
Yeah, I think our buddy Armand Lindsay opened that hole up again. He went right through that left guard.
And that is right where Armand Lindsay is, the senior. 4 receivers, 2 right, 2 left. Newberry's got to get a man into coverage. They do. Hunter, it's a snap. Hand off to Scott. Scott straight up the middle again. Scott inside the 10, brought down at the 7.
That time he went off right tackle.
And you've got the right side of the line opening up that time from Casey Stewart and Cameron Stepp.
Second and 2 for North Greenville.
Now 2nd down and 2. North Greenville needs to get it to the 5 to have 1st and goal.
Yeah, they give them 4 more downs if they can just get that little extra yards.
And a chance to run some more clock off. Hunter gets a snap. Hand off to Scott. Scott down to move up the middle, and he's in.
Yeah, might as well just go ahead.
How about that stutter step at the 3? Thank you very much. I'll take my 6.
And that was Armand Lindsay again. He went right over that left guard.
Armand Lindsay, the senior offensive lineman, Rock Hill, South Carolina, South Point High School. And now this sets up where North Greenville's leading by 4 right now, and you try and go for 2 to set up what Newberry will have to go for a touchdown. Now they're going to go for 2. It's a 26-22. Hunter back in the gun, brings a receiver in motion, closer to the right side of the line. Hunter drops back, looking, throws it over the middle. It is caught by Sanders in the back of the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. North Greenville leads by 6.
Yeah, Crusader fans definitely like that play. Now 28-22 in favor of the Crusaders with 4:09 to go in the game.
And that's a play where you run Sanders out and then sneak him behind the defense, and Hunter was able to find him.
I don't want to pre-call the plays, Gray, but I really expected Sanders in the corner. I never expected him over the middle, but it was a good play.
One of those plays where you run where you hope the defense is either so focused on the run or that pass to the outside that they lose track of who's in the middle.
Exactly.
Now the Wolves with 4:09 left to play. 2 timeouts for both teams.
Getting down to crunch time now, Gray. Both teams. Here's where we find out what you're made of.
Matt Gravely.
Can the Crusaders go 3-0?
And now you're going to have a tough fight, regardless of what is the result of this game next week at UNC Pembroke. The Braves came here to play last year, and North Greenville won that one handily 40-17, but different story going to almost the coast of North Carolina. Gravely, low line drive kick. That's going to go into the end zone for a yard. Will be returnable. Out to the 15, 20, and nowhere to go for Lewis as he's brought down by half the return team.
Yeah, swarm tackling that time by the Crusaders. You mentioned the schedules coming up. Newberry has Tusculum on Saturday.
And the Pioneers out of Greenville, Tennessee. Always another good matchup, as that is a conference game for Newberry. Crusader sideline trying to get the crowd to rally behind the defense. Yadell unbalanced to the right side. He'll look that way, throws it over the middle, incomplete, looking for his receiver, Castle.
Good timing.
Sam Houston on the pass coverage.
Hey, Houston very patient there. Let the ball get to the receiver before he got his arms around him.
3 receivers right, 1 left.
3:56 to go.
In the gun. Checking the sideline again, 10 on a play clock. Gets a snap, looks to the right side, pressure comes. Udell forces a scramble, lets it loose, and it is going to be caught.
Yes.
Castle picks up 9, and it'll be 3rd down and 1.
It was a low throw, but he picked it up. Very good play by Castle.
Stretching out for it and keeping his toes in bound.
Crusaders have to be careful here. Don't let them get that momentum back.
Got a linebacker matching up here on the near side. Dalton Pilgrim, as Udell looks that way, throws, and it's in and out of the hands of number 6, Jackson Swindler, 4th down. What's Newberry got to do?
I think that's the first time they've gone to Swindler tonight.
Let's see. Swindler does have 2 catches for 14.
Been very quiet anyway.
Newberry's offense staying on the field, 4th down and 1.
Big play here, big play for both teams.
Udell in the gun. They bring Swindler in motion. They fake the handoff. Udell goes for it and almost breaks the tackle.
Yeah.
But he picks up the 1st down. Newberry stays alive.
Last man got him because he had open field.
Everybody was so bunched up on the line that he almost squeezed by.
3:10 now on the clock.
1st and 10, 3 receivers left. Udell drops back to pass, floats a pass out to Doctor in the flat. Doctor gets a block, has the 1st down to midfield and out of bounds.
Crusaders have to be very careful now.
Don't need to lose track of your assignments. And we do. Romello Doctor is back in the ball game. Picks up his 3rd catch. Newberry going hurry up. Udell gets a snap. Now will step up and scramble. He gets to the 45 and spun down a yard short of the 1st down at the 42.
Crusaders putting in that 3rd down defense again. The short yardage are going to have to come up big again.
Udell drops back, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Udell looks for the snap and fakes he does hand it off to Doctor, and
it's going to be close.
Depends on which side of the 41 he got to.
Far side officials indicating 4th down, but I think they might measure. Well, they gave him a 1st down.
Now here's a whistle, and Coach Knight is upset about something.
Yeah, I think Coach Farrington is begging the referees for a measurement.
It looked like one official wanted to call for a measurement, but the head referee overruled.
They're looking at it carefully. Yeah, they're going to measure now. The far official indicated 4th down.
Scoreboard showing 3rd, and if he's short by the nose, if he is.
Right.
At the conclusion of the game, they ask your cooperation in staying off the field for about 5 minutes.
Oh, he is just short.
Yeah, inches.
Missed it by that much. But it's still going to be 3rd down, and it's definitely 2-down territory for Newberry.
2:10 left on the play clock.
So, change the down marker and let's get back underway. 3rd down and inches.
There we go.
I would be fully expecting a quarterback keeper.
Exactly.
3 receivers left, 1 right. Udell checking with his line.
See if Udell comes up under. No, he's going to back out.
Doctor to his right. Udell gets a snap, hands it off to Doctor. Doctor stretching out to the left side, has the 1st down to the 35.
Now under 2 minutes.
Now Newberry has to go for the score. Field goal does him no good. Quick set again. 1st down and 10 from the 35. Udell back in the gun. Gets a snap. He'll hand it off to Doctor. Stretching it out to the far side this time. Doctor running the wrong way and loses yardage back to the 40.
Been wanting to say this all night, Ray, but Doctor didn't have any patience there.
That's a good one. Officially loses 4 on the play. 2nd down and 14. 2 receivers going out left to right. Yaddell drops back in the gun. Doctor to his left. Yaddell gets a snap, looking to the left side. Here comes pressure. He scrambles away, looks, throws back far side, has Doctor wide open over there. Nigel Gay is not going to bring him down. Instead, he is brought down by number 33 for North Greenville, Roderick McCray. And a late flag again.
Yeah, high in the air.
About half the flags tonight have been after the plays ended.
Yeah, Newberry players are talking to their player number 5 as if maybe he might be guilty party.
I think this is against North Greenville.
Braxton Ivory.
Well, the officials are going to have another meet-up about it. Newberry either picks up their 14th or North Greenville picks up their 12th.
Play. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 4 of the defense. Penalize half the distance to the goal.
Wow, North Greenville, Crusaders penalty.
Well, both teams are over 100 penalty yards.
Very unlike Crusaders.
1st and 10, ball down to the North Greenville 15. 3 receivers left for Yaddell, 1 over on the right. He gets a snap, hands it off to Doctor, straight up the middle. Out jukes 1, keeps going inside the 5, finally brought down at the 1st down marker at the 4. It'll be 1st and goal for Newberry.
1:18 left.
1st and goal for the Wolves.
And timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field.
Well, Newberry has missed 2 extra points tonight. If they get the touchdown, the Crusaders will be definitely trying to block the extra point.
Well, this has been a, well, not really just a head coach's nightmare with all the penalties, but this has been a defensive coordinator's nightmare. Newberry with over 400 total yards of offense. North Greenville sitting not far behind with 366. Pretty balanced attack from Newberry, 215 pass yards to 190 rush yards. Most of those coming from, you guessed it, the senior Raleigh Yaddell, who was trying to will his offense into the end zone. Once again, neither team has turned it over. We thought we had an interception, but it was ruled incomplete. Well, 1st and goal for Newberry from the North Greenville 4. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Yaddell in the gun. Doctor to his right, who has been very crucial to this drive. Yaddell's going to keep it. Spins away from run. Runs right into Sam Houston. He whips away from Houston into the end zone. That's the first time anybody's been able to do that, and Newberry's tied it. Well, now here comes the PAT. Shea Rogers has got to get it up and through.
Keep your eye on number 59, 58 Williams for the Crusaders, see if he can block it.
Snap is down, kick it's on its way. Flag comes out. PAT's good, but let's figure out what this one's for.
Newberry is celebrating.
Number 1 of the defense. That penalty is declined.
North Greenville called offsides. Well, Newberry has the lead, 29-28.
1:04 left in the game, Greg.
The game's certainly not done yet, but you need a good return, and depending on where you get the return, your target for North Greenville is the 30-yard line.
Right now, Crusaders are going to have to put their stock in Witherspoon. See if he can bring one back.
That'd be something. Finally got his first career touchdown return last week against Lenore Ryan. Now, Shea Rogers and Newberry have been kicking short all night.
Seconds for the Crusaders to put points on the board. They're going to pull this one out. It's going to be a tough loss if they can't. Have 2 home games, one by 1 point, one lost by 1 point.
So Witherspoon's the furthest back, and then you've got Rooks, who has caught every kickoff return tonight for North Greenville.
Yeah, they should put Witherspoon on the 20.
Then maybe that would force Newberry to make a decision. As here comes Rogers to the football. He's going to kick it deep to Witherspoon, and Witherspoon's going to bring it out. Witherspoon to the 10. Witherspoon to the 15. Runs into his own man, and I think I saw another flag come in.
Yeah, long distance flag.
Well,
that back judge threw that flag 20 yards.
Yeah, good arm.
Interesting to see what this call is.
Well,
56.4 left in the game.
Waiting for the huddle to break up. Here we go.
Here's the return. Block the back. Return team. Half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, that's not what you need for North Greenville. Blocking a back penalty moves it back half the distance to the goal line and puts you that much more in a hole. Ball spotted back at the 8. So it's 92 yards to the goal line. 2 timeout, well, 1 timeout for North Greenville, 2 timeouts for Newberry.
Could be Mason Sanders' time. Let him use his legs to get down that field.
Sanders is out there with Rooks on the left side. 2 receivers also right. Now can Hunter engineer a potentially game-winning drive? Gets the snap. Newberry brings pressure. Hunter scrambles, launches it down the field, looking for Sanders, and it's incomplete and a flag.
Yep, there's the flag. Last minute, he got tripped up right as he launched for the ball.
Well, here's the call.
Pass interference. Defense, number 17. 15-yard penalty. Previous spot. First down.
That gives a little bit of breathing room. Oh, and a sideline warning against North Greenville to go along with that. Well, ball's up to the 23-yard line.
49.1 seconds.
Sanders will line up, lone man on the right side. 3 receivers go left. Hunter back in the gun. Low snap, drops back to pass, forced to scramble again. Avoids the pressure. Hunter heading to the sideline, steps out while gaining what he can, and only just under 7 seconds run off the clock. That's up to the 28, second down.
Coach Farrington for the Crusaders going to the playbook now. Got to pull something out.
Hunter back in the gun here, 2nd down and 5. Looking to pass, down the field, looking, throws it over the middle, incomplete, looking for Rooks, had him on the run. 3rd down.
Pass was a little bit in front of him. He couldn't quite stretch out for it. Now the Newberry fans have kicked in on the far sideline. This has been a good series between these two teams.
It has. 3rd down and 5. 4 receiver set. Hunter dropping back. Looks to the far side. Throws that way, and it is
incomplete.
Incomplete. Looking for Javon Smith. Now it's go or go home time. 4th down.
And definitely if they can't make this 1st down, keep the ball, it's just going to be knee time.
4th down and 5. 4 receiver set for Hunter. Bird is the tailback. Hunter drops back, throws over the middle field, and incomplete. That's your ball game.
.29 seconds to go. Newberry will take over. They don't have to run a play. Let's just hope there's not a penalty.
Another one. Well, both teams look to end the night each with 120 total penalty yards. Newberry with 1 more penalty.
We're going to get into the victory formation here.
Dale's going to go, he's going to line it up in the gun and take a knee back at the 33. And that should do it. Well, the good thing is I don't see any more flags on the field. The bad news is North Greenville takes their first loss on the season. Newberry again spoils the undefeated party.
Definitely a good game though, Gray.
Well, if you take away the 27 total penalties, yes, it is a good game.
Yeah.
This is just a good play game by Newberry. They end with 407 total yards of offense, 371 for North Greenville, and North Greenville held to under 100 yards passing. As final score 29-28. So Newberry now leads the series in this rivalry, 12 wins to 3 losses. And this is the closest win for either team. I think going back all the way to that 2012 game I mentioned earlier when it was a 10-point win for NGU. Actually, no. This is the closest win in the series since the September 2nd game, 2000, when North Greenville was still playing over in Taylors, South Carolina. Newberry won by a field goal, and that was the only point scored in that entire game, 3-0.
Once again, Gray, it was a great night here in Tigerville. We again appreciate all of our fans watching us on the North Greenville Sports Network. Remind you again that we will be on the air again Wednesday night over in Hayes Auditorium.
Next up for the football team, they'll head to UNC Pembroke, and the Braves are looking for a spot of revenge after taking a 40-17 loss here at Younts. And so good to see the Braves back on the schedule. North Greenville will hit the road once again. Then they'll come back home on October the 1st against Mars Hill, where we'll be honoring the 2006 Victory Bowl team here in Tigerville. And then the heart of the schedule kicks in, a 3-game road trip that starts off with the FCS opponent, the Citadel, which is I believe, Coach Jeff Farrington's alma mater. So North Greenville heading down to Charleston to play the Citadel. And Dave, thank you for mentioning that we will be back over across Highway 414 at women's volleyball as, oh boy, Southern Wesleyan comes to town. That game slated for a 7 p.m. first serve. In the meantime, women's volleyball is at Benedict on Monday. And then men's and women's soccer will play a doubleheader at Columbia International. So, Dave, let's go over the final numbers for this game. Rushing, North Greenville outrushed Newberry 275 to 192. Went over the passing numbers. Raleigh Adele finishes with 215, 21 of 38, and the touchdown through the air. Where it hurt the most was his 20 rushes, 141, 3 touchdowns on the ground. He ends tonight with 4 total scores.
Yeah, he'd have to be my vote for the player of the game, Greg.
I agree with that as well. Romello Doctor, another less than 100-yard game for him, but nonetheless very impactful late. 13 rushes for 48 yards. Markel Castle led the team in receptions again, 8 receptions for 77 yards and the score. Romello Doctor, 4 for 33. Braxton Ivory, 3 for 54. Cole Watson, 2 for 16. And let's see, Yadell spread it out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 receivers tonight. For North Greenville, Will Hunter finishes 14 of 34 for 96 and a touchdown. Simeon Bird, 16 rushes on 119 yards. Tracy Scott, 13 runs, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Will Hunter scrambled 6 times for 47 yards, and Ashton Hurd ends up at the bottom of the list, only 1 rush for 3 yards, and then he exited the game with a left hand injury, so that's going to be a story to follow over this next week as North Greenville prepares for Pembroke to see whether or not, or how serious that injury is to Hurd.
Yeah, he had that hand taped up pretty good. Looked like a couple fingers might have been jammed or damaged a little bit. He didn't seem to be in a whole lot of pain, so I think he'll recover pretty quick.
Receiving-wise, for North Greenville, Javon Smith, 5 catches for 20 yards. DeMarge Rooks, 3 for 20. Tracy Scott, 2 for 17. Mason Sanders came back with 2 catches for 13 yards and a touchdown. Pedro Maginot, 1 catch for 16. And Devon Turman, 1 for 10. But defensively, shocker at the top of the list for North Greenville. Sam Houston once again leads the team with 13 total tackles, a tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. Dalton Pilgrim with 11 tackles and 2.5 tackles for loss to tack on to that. Joe Blue led the way for Newberry, 11 tackles, half a tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. And once again, our very first player of the game was Desmond Williams, who recorded 5 tackles, a pass breakup, and another blocked PAT.
Yeah, he's got those hands working for him, getting them up in the air. Coach has to be real happy with Williams playing for the Crusaders.
And I got to give a shout out to the special teams. Shea Rogers kicked a 25-yard field goal. Matt Gravely kicked 2 field goals, both good from long distances. So he has been good from 47, 45, and 41 today. And Witherspoon, unfortunately, only had 1 kick return for 16 yards at the end of the ball game there.
Yeah, the Wolves' kickoffs seemed to, except for the last one, seemed to only go to the 20-yard line. But he, on that last one, he got his leg into it.
And so that will do it here for us here from Yount Stadium. We'll be back on October the 1st for a home game against Mars Hill. But our next broadcast will be Wednesday, women's volleyball against a conference favorite, Southern Wesleyan, coming to Hayes Gymnasium. And so, Dave, thank you again for coming on for another North Greenville athletic event. It's really something to call these games as they come down close like this.
Oh, yeah, they're exciting games, even though they had a lot of penalties, but they're still exciting. And I'll be glad to see you on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and we'll be on the air then.
And so
if you're a fan of North Greenville Crusaders, join us for the volleyball like you do for the football. We appreciate all of our viewers on the North Greenville Sports Network.
And so for myself, Grace Sutherland, Dave Parson, on camera tonight, Alan Ellis, Kimberly Henry, Christian Nathie, producers Will and Alan Cahaley. This has been North Greenville football here on the North Greenville Sports Network.